Oh, I love that quote right there. That's such my favorite, right? But anyway, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to our first edition of the live stream. Man, oh, this is gonna be such a fun thing right here. Welcome to my brand new channel. It's me, Patrick, right here. Well, we're just over here to have fun, do everything we can to have a great time. And boy, what a great time it's gonna be right here. As you can see, like I said, I am your host right here, Patrick, and I'm joined by the lovely Vipersword. How you doing, Viper?
Hello, peoples.
And it's gonna be a fun one today because we are finna talk about one of our favorite topics right here. We are finna talk about Mass Effect. Oh, I
Yay!
love this series since it came out, man. Like, oh my god, this was such a fun series right here. Except one game that I don't know if it's a nice sword, but I'm not gonna get into that very yet. You can talk about it if you want to, Viper, but that game doesn't exist to me.
That's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. I understand your position, and I totally agree with it.
Mm. Oh yeah, man. But when Mass Effect came out, I mean, this was such a wild game, man. Like because one of my friends asked me to get into it, and the thing is, like, I got into it accidentally because I got it. I played I tried to play Mass Effect 2 first before anything, and I was just right there. I was telling him like, man, this thing is confusing because it feel like it's just so incomplete. And he's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's like I'm playing Mass. He's like, no, you gotta go play the first game and just go on from that point on right there. So when I got to the first Mass Effect, and I'm just like, oh yeah,
Ah,
I was messing up from the get go, man. Shoot, this one of these games like you got to start from the beginning and work your way on up. You just can't jump into it like like mid
nope.
game. Like you can't start at like Mass Effect 2 or 3 and expect to get the whole entire thing. Like no, you got to start from the
No,
beginning.
because you miss stuff. You miss things
Yes.
like the Rachni Queen on Novaria and all the lore behind that, and you miss possibly the best part of Mass Effect One, that being Rex.
Oh man, the whole Rex thing right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the game basically starts out, as your character, like your character Shepard, which it could be like a male or a female, whatever you basically choose to pick, and you can either pick out three classes. You can either be a spacer, earthborn, or you could be a colonist. Now for me, it's like when I was a female, I was a spacer, and when I was a male, I was a colonist right there. Because
Hmm.
I read up on those, like I said, they had like like two of like the best mission right there, especially like if you're a colonist. So, like did you create your character up to the best of your knowledge right there that you can, like
Mm-hmm.
and so you basically go right there and you basically what I'm saying, your whole entire thing is like, you're basically on the Normandy. Like getting ready to go on this mission to Eden Prime to discover this beacon. And like you basically
First off, Pat, we should say, Mass Effect. It takes place after the humans have discovered an ancient race or an ancient race's computer technology called the Protheans, and from there they've learnt how to travel into space. Um, it took them several years, but they were able to build space stations and spaceships, and yeah, they just started it as all countries would. We made the military in charge of space. Um,
Mhm.
and it just so happened to be the Navy for some reason. Well, I guess you are floating somewhat. Um, but yeah, then a few years after they found the Prothean database on Mars, they found the Mass Effect stations, or the I am blanking on what they are called, but the big things. Shepard at one point has to blow up. Um,
The Mass Effect on the mass relays.
that's it, the mass relays. Um, and that's when they discovered that they could travel to other galaxies, and through that, um, they were able, they were able to travel to other galaxies, but unbeknownst to them, they were breaking a law, and that law set off what they called the First Contact War
Oh,
in Mass Effect. Because the Turians are in charge of security. Now, the Turians are a race of bird-like aliens that but really they look more like lizards. I don't get where the bird thing comes from. But yeah, they're a race of aliens that take on security, and they are mainly military-led race, basically.
Yeah. And it also
And
includes one of your, I'm saying,
yeah,
your favorite character of all time.
hey, do not mess with the Garrus. Just yes, yeah. But I will tell you now,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't Garrus that interested me in Mass Effect initially, because how I got to Mass Effect was I was looking at, through some artwork, just trying to, because I was looking through Dragon Age artwork at the time because I was playing Dragon Age and I liked it. You know, it was
Mm-hmm.
all right. But you know, I was just looking through artwork and I saw artwork of Thane from Mass Effect 2, and I thought he's kind of cute.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
If you're into the
you know,
comedians.
yeah, it does seem like it. I was into the aliens. But no, it just
All right,
uh,
we keep on.
interested me on what game it was, what franchise it was. I found out that it was Mass Effect, and by God, the rabbit hole went from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after the First Contact War, it's kind of a few years after. There's still tensions between Turians and humans, but by God, they get along with the Asari sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all politics with a lot of gun violence, and I like it.
Oh yeah, no. And this is one of those games right there where I'm saying where you had like like where you had it had a lot of politics in it, but it wasn't it wasn't majorly extreme or nothing like that. It was like it's just like your typical stuff that you mostly see on an everyday basis right there. But yes, it starts out like say you play as a character called Shepard. Like you can name
Mm-hmm.
him have whatever you want and all that right there. Of course my
Yeah,
male, I named it after me, but my female for some reason I don't know. Just look, I'm saying just look like a Victorious. And I'm
totally
saying
fine.
yeah, like I'm saying, because they're never going to call you by your first name anyway, so you can just name whatever the hell you
Nah,
want.
it's just Shepherd.
Yeah, they're always just going to call you Shepherd.
Yeah.
So you have
So
to go to this mission on Eden Prime to like basically to check out this beacon, of course, and plus you basically check out this this mysterious ship right there, like the Reaper Sovereign, but they didn't know it at the time.
well,
But the
technically, they
mission,
didn't even know about Sovereign until they got onto Eden Prime, which is one
mm,
of Earth's colonies. Which it was a risky colony to begin with because it was in the Arcturus system, or the basically where all the bad guys and the pirates are basically. So the council were like, "Yeah, we don't have jurisdiction over that place. You're kind of taking a risk," and they were like already wiping their hands clean of Eden Prime.
mhm,
Um, but it was a good planet to build a colony on. It was very similar to Earth, and yeah, they found more Prothean artifacts. One being a beacon, which is said to hold information. Um, and what made this beacon so important was it's working.
mhm,
No technology that they had that at the time that you know of, or uh, the people in the game that you are closely related to, that they knew of, nothing was working
yeah,
except for the files on Mars that you know gave them the information for space flight and everything. So this beacon was rare, so it had to be in the Alliance's hands pretty quickly.
yeah, yeah. Another
Uh,
thing about this mission right here is like shipping them. Honestly, they didn't know exactly what the hell they getting into at first. All they know is that
no,
they knew something was up because the Turian Nihilus was there. Nihilus was a specter, so they're like
yeah,
something's got to be going down because they don't just send specters on regular missions like how they're basically explaining it right there. So they all of them
yeah.
sitting up there thinking like what's going on, especially like Jenkins and all that right
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Elenko and Joker, two characters that one I hate, that being Elenko, but Joker, we must protect the Joker. But
You don't
still,
like Wingo?
it, I hate Caden and I hate Ashley. Okay,
I like Ashley.
I hate her.
I
I hate
know,
Ashley.
I know a lot of people say that they hated Ashley because as time went by, and they felt like her character was kind of like it was kind of like Exo Presley, they they didn't get along with the other alien races and things like that. But over time, as they got to basically know him and got to start working with him, they became more and more accepting. But a lot of people basically hate him for right there, like, oh my god, the prejudice against aliens, like.
It wasn't. It was. I don't like Ashley for the fact that she hates aliens. Fine, whatever. I hate Ashley because she's a stick up the ass, stick in the mud woman, and she's just so. She's unlikable to me.
Most of that was due because according to her like background, like her family history was basically was tainted because of something that went down with one of our one of our grandparents like in the military right there. So she's just basically been trying to do everything she can to live up rebuild up their family's name, but it's like ever
Yeah.
since then she never been able to get past like gunnery chief because of basically no grudges from the past.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. There is just something about Ashley that rubs me the wrong way, and I will be honest right now. When it comes to the part uh on the part where you need to blow them up, I roll the dice to see if it's either Kader or Ashley every single time. Every
Now,
single time.
me, of course, I played through this whole entire series, Paragon. So my thing was basically it all depends on who I was playing with. If I was male shepherd, of course, I'm saving Ashley. If I was female shepherd, I'm saving Caden because I'm gonna be romantic with him. So that was my biggest thing. That was my biggest thing right there. When I played through it, now I saw like the other let's plays when people were basically doing like on like what it'd be like if it was vice versa. If the guy shepherd saved Caden instead of Ashley and all that right there. So
Mm.
there were a lot of many different ways that you could play this game. So I ended up playing
Oh
this
yeah.
game like about 4 or 5 times just to get like different scenarios. All right, join us in the
Oh.
chat right here. Let's see. All right, we got Uzuku, we got Becca, we got Madness, we got Bonsako, we got Johnny Blaze, we got This Is Kyle. What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for joining us, man.
Hi, people. Sorry if I'm boring you.
Oh, you're never born, Viper.
I'm
You
always boring. What were we talking about? Anyway.
we love you more than anything. All right, but but yeah, it's like so with the Eden Prime mission, it's like they knew something was up because Nihilus was
Yep,
there. They knew
Nihilus.
Nihilus was a Spectre, so this wasn't
Yep.
going to be like your run in the mill, mission right here. So they basically they were flying blind as they basically went. Now, of course, they get there and they automatically lose Jenkins, damn. And this kind of
Well,
sucked because he looked like he
yeah.
was going to be a cool character, but they just basically made him as a throwaway. Like,
I was like, okay, yeah, I get to know Jenkins. Good kid, quiet kid. Just all energetic. By God, why couldn't you have shoot Alenko?
but that's what it basically was. It's like it's like they threw away Jenkins just so you could get Ashley.
Yeah, yeah. You had to lose a character, and also it shows what the Geth drones. It comes to your first enemy, what you're up against. That these things that are attacking Eden Prime, you see what they can do. Okay, so their ammunition, they can tear right through your shield. So, right, okay, got it. Still, why couldn't you have just fired at Telenko? Please?
So So yeah, it's like
I would say Jenkins over Alenko, but yeah, Nihilus is there primarily to test Shepard out
hmm
because Shepard is on the on the list to be the first human Spectre,
yeah, like
and yeah, Nihilus is sort of going, yeah, we need I need to test you out, see what you're doing, and Eden Prime is a good place to start. And yeah, so it was basically a grab and go mission, see how Shepard handles security and all that lot with the delicate information. Lo and behold, they get a video transmission going, yeah, we're in deep shit. Something's here, we don't know what it is. Help. Because
yeah,
we're being gunned down. And then that's when they exit the Normandy and they go on to Eden Prime. Jenkins gets killed, not Alenko, and you have to set off towards the beacon because you have no idea what's happening. You just
yeah.
know
Before
that these drone things have shot Jenkins down.
yeah, and before they did that right there, that's where you finally got like got the first glimpse of like Sovereign. They didn't know like what the hell is that.
Yeah, so you get an eerie feeling that at the time you know that ship is important, but you don't know why. Because they focus on it, and it
Mhm.
does look strange for a spaceship, especially when you see how the Normandy is built and all that. Um, it's just a strange looking ship, and it's eerie, and it has tentacles. So again, eerie. So, so yeah, they make the way towards the beacon, picking up Ashley along the way, and
Yeah, because
therefore
she's
setting in
been fired
place,
on about the she's been
yeah,
fired
by
on
the
about the
Geth.
get.
I think what Mass Effect 1 does really well is setting up the Geth in a bad light. Um, and if it wasn't for Legion in Mass Effect 2, which is another Geth species, you don't see both sides then. Like, as you did. You played Mass Effect 2 and you're going, where's most of the story? I don't get it. Well, most of the story with the Geth is in Mass Effect 1.
Mm-hmm.
That you're getting more of the evil sentient AI that is sort of been a nightmare for many years, not just in like the Mass Effect universe, but in our world. As soon as robots started coming to life, everybody's going, what if they take over? What if it's Skynet? That's why Terminator's such a good film. It's playing on that fear of what if we make life that is machine,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's what
so
Mass Effect 1 does.
yeah, so basically, like after discovering Ashley and what's basically going down, fighting through the get, they go to a cutscene where it's basically Nihilus, like he's halfway up there, and he encounters Saren, and he know why Saren is
Yeah.
there and all that right there, and Saren basically, plays it off, like gets him to lower his guard and pops him in the back of the head.
Yeah, and you're
So
wondering. Yeah, well, first off, you're wondering why did Nihilus treat Seren, uh, friendly? Why did he lower his guard,
mhm,
only to then get shot in the back of the head? You know, so kind of right. Okay, Seren is a character of interest. Okay, see where this goes.
mhm,
What's Seren got to do with all of this? And yeah, you don't personally see Seren as Shepard, because again he kind of scarpers out of there, and yeah, you make your way to the beacon, fighting loads of Geth, and what they also show is the spikes, the dragon teeth, as
all
they're
the
called in
dragon
the
teeth,
game.
how they
Yeah, the dragon
how they
teeth.
and this how
Uh,
they basically turn humans into these things called husk.
yeah, it's what you later learn is it's Reaper technology, but they think it's all Geth technology at the moment. But basically, you put a dead human onto these dragon teeth spikes, or they could be alive, you never know, but nanites flow through the system and change their body into a machine type thing, and they become a husk that will just run at you, and basically a zombie.
Yeah,
A
it's like
machine
a
zombie.
machine zombie. Yeah, exactly. So you
But
encounter those until you finally make it to like Nihilus's body, and then that's when you basically, you encounter this guy who was basically this worker who was slacking off, and he basically ends up seeing the whole entire thing that it went on
he just
to
wanted a
meet
nap.
Saren. Yeah,
He just wanted to nap behind the boxes, and that saved his life.
yeah, like I said, being motherfucking lazy basically saved his life right there. But he basically, like I'm saying, saw and heard the whole entire conversation, between Sarah and them. But it's like, so, and of course, Saren is like one step ahead of them all the way through. So now they're basically going through, trying to, like basically see what's like going on. And of course, they showed the cutscene where Saren makes it to the beacon first, and it basically, does something to him.
Yeah.
So when Shepard finally makes it, with the crew right there, they're basically trying to see what's going on. Of course, Ashley, is creeping
Well, it
towards
depends
this.
on. Yeah.
Well,
Well, it actually depends on which shepherd you pick,
yeah,
whether it
if it's
be
male
male
Shepard,
shep
it's
or
yeah,
yeah. If it's male shepherd, it's Ashley. If it's femme shep, it's Caden. And I think that's to try and establish a bond with these characters. And I'm like, when it's Caden, I'm like, I don't care. Get your mind ripped to shreds. Because
well,
that's
anyway, like I
essentially
said,
what this is.
yeah, it's like either Shepard, like I'm saying, throws the other one out of the way, and they get caught up in the, they
Yeah.
get caught up in the, I'm saying, in the wave of it, lifts them up and starts basically programming them with all this shit and knocks them the fuck out. Next thing you know, they're back on the damn Normandy. Shepard's basically coming to, not knowing what the hell basically went down, and one of the other, like I said, Ashley and Caden basically feeling guilty because like, oh, if it wasn't for me, that wouldn't have happened to you.
Yeah.
So,
And it's like, get over it.
but, so they go back to the Citadel to basically, explain their findings, and plus, try to basically tell the council that, Saren is a traitor. Now, of
Well,
course, the council, who are the three biggest assholes in this goddamn game. Oh man, the council is horrible, man.
I'd say the council is basic politics. It's basic government. They're all
Mhm.
looking out for their own self interests. They say, but our races have to weigh up. We can't just. You were out in the terminus. We can't always help the alliance. You knew the risks. Things like that, and essentially, yeah, the Alliance building a colony out in the Terminus system was where it's known to have mercenaries and pirates and looters and everything like that, and slave traders going around the freaking area. They were taking a risk. They knew the risks. But, uh, so yeah, the council can't lift a finger in terms of that. And really, what are they meant to do about the Geth? They haven't been seen for like 300 years.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, okay, Geth. What do you want us to do about it?
Yeah. It's
One, you're
like
out in the
yeah,
terminus systems,
it's like the
so we
council
can't
playing
do anything.
it's like the council are
Yeah,
playing politics while basically like Udine and them are basically seeing it as basically like, oh, they just hate us humans, like because they don't want
yeah,
us, I'm saying, they don't want us progressing, up to their level.
yeah, that's it. Well, I think Udina is a bit xenophobic as well in the game. Yeah, well, he's a lot xenophobic in the game,
Yeah,
but
because he only cares about basically trying to build the human race up.
he's trying to build up the human race. He's trying to, but again, that's politics, and that's basically what they're all doing is playing politics. So I can't
Mhm.
really hate them. While I go, yes, you're a bunch of idiots, I can't really hate them because it's government. So, yeah, not to say that government it is absolutely, yeah, government in general is stupid because it's always run by idiots. But there you go, these are idiots.
Yeah.
But it's
And
like,
then it was yeah, and then it was a thing with Saren right there, like where they basically, where they basically like, like accusing him about since Saren is like a specter, he's kind of like on this basic, this big high horse thing right there, where it's like
yeah,
the almost untouchable unless you have like really, really strong evidence. And the only thing they basically had was somebody's word. So of course they're not gonna
yeah,
take that right there.
the word of a lazy dock worker and visions that Shepard was having because Shepard had interacted with the beacon.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're not going to uh, denounce Saren right on the spot because he is the top Spectre. He is the most trusted Spectre,
Yeah.
and hey, he's got away with words. I will say that.
Yeah.
And he's also got a personal rivalry with Captain Anderson.
Yeah, that was another thing that
Yeah,
they brought along as well. Like
yeah. It's like, is that Captain Anderson out here? So,
So they basically use all that, to deny, like saying, like we're not gonna do nothing to him because y'all haven't brought us anything right there. So now they have to
yeah.
find out another way to prove that Saren's a traitor, and so that becomes like basically some of the focus right there, and that's when we start encountering people like Garrison Tally. So like Garrison, I'm saying
Uh-huh.
the C Garrison's the C-Sec right there. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, Garrus knows something's happening with Seren
Mhm.
because he's been raised by a C-Sec dad, and is which, for those that don't know, C-Sec is Citadel security, basically the police.
The police.
Yeah, so you've got a cop who's tried to catch a bad guy, but he's getting interfered by the top people above him, red tape and all that, and it's like, damn it! So he really wants to get the bad guy, and then you've got Rex. Oh, Rex,
All right.
lovable Rex, um, basically a Krogan type alien or a Krogan alien, another lizard type alien. The most unique thing about them is that they have 4 testicles.
Oh
And that's
yeah.
about it.
Now the Krogan are a wild species, especially when they basically how they basically explain them. They're basically like like bred for war. They're really a warrior type. Species right there. They live and breathe. For the fight. Trying to be strong and all that right there. So like one
Yeah.
of the biggest things, like I said, they were known for basically like just going around, like conquering planets and all that shit right there.
Well,
And
no,
because
not
they were
necessarily. Not necessarily. That before the Rachni War, they were peacefully at home on Tuchanka. It was the Solarians that basically gave them the weapons and everything that they needed to defeat the Rachni, and because they couldn't find challenge outside of their own race after the Rachni, that's when they started getting a bit rowdy and wanted more colonies, more planets, and things. They weren't going around conquering planets at the time. They were being peaceful about it, but unfortunately, uh, they nobody was challenging enough for them since Arachnids, so their warrior intentions got out of control and they started fighting amongst themselves. You
Yeah.
know?
Plus, I'm remembering now, like when they needed them. Now I'm saying, to help with the Rachni Wars, but they also promised them a lot of stuff, and they kind of went back on their word.
Yeah, they went back. They went back a lot on their word. They like say they wanted to expand and have colonies outside of Chichanka. They wanted to have a place on the Citadel. And the council just went, nope, bye.
This is what
And
kind of started like what the Krogan rebellions.
Yeah, that's what started the Krogan rebellions after they had helped the defeat the Rachni and push the Rachni back. You know, they kind of got shafted by the other races, and so they started the Krogan rebellions. And then that created the genophage, which is what the Solarians came up with to basically control birth rates. Because one thing about the Krogan is that they can reproduce at an astonishing rate.
Yeah, so they're like part rabbit.
Yeah, they're part rabbit, basically.
They reproduce like rabbits.
Yeah, they produce like rabbits, and they're lizard rabbits, basically. That's the best way to describe them, lizard rabbits. But yeah, the genophage created by the Solarians, that was to control, in their words, control birth rates but make sure that the species does not go extinct. While it was the Turians that deployed the genophage. So ultimately the Krogan hate them both.
Yeah, but they hate they hate the Turians more because, you know, the Turians are basically the ones that unleashed it on them and all that right there, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
so they hate the Turians for deploying it. They hate the Solarians for making it. Yeah, and they just hate everybody because, well, bleh.
Yeah, and it's like when you think about it at first, but you know, like first, like you know, when the first Mass Effect basically went down, they explained the genophage, and I'm just like, well, I can understand. You know, they started getting rowdy. They basically started going around trying to, you know, conquer all these places right here, and of course, you know, since they can make more and more of them, just like just like that right there, you know, they had to basically do something to, to calm them down and to stop their damn numbers. So I can understand like the genophage, but then, you know, they move it to Mass Effect 2 and Morton basically talks about what kind of jumping the gun right here. And Morton basically talk about like, you know, how they updated the genophage. That's why I'm like, you know, okay, you know, I can understand why you made the genophage first part, things like that, but that updated version, that was really fucked up.
Yeah. No, that was messed up. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, Pat.
Yeah. So we can. That was just a little genophage part right there. But but jumping back, you know, reversing back, you know, getting back to Garrus, Rex, and Tally, like the three people who you can basically pick up, you know, as a squad, because you're mostly getting Garrus because, you know, Garrus sees an opportunity just like to, you know, pursue Saren as well, kind of like the one that got away, and plus, you know, he's just basically tired of the whole CSEC red tape bullshit right there, you know. So it kind of gave him a reason to about that to kind of like go and, you know, as he sees, like I'm saying, you know, like like basically achieve justice in a certain way that he would basically like to, you know, like to achieve without all the, you know, without all the
politicking, basically.
And you end up getting Tally. Yeah, you end up getting Tally because, you know, like you have to save Tally because she has information about this whole entire thing that can basically prove, how much of a traitor Saren is.
And Tally, being a Quarian, you know, has special knowledge about the Geth because her species made the Geth. You know, so they're kind of in deep shit themselves. So in a way, it's like Tally wants to redeem her race as well. But at the same time, how she got the information is she got through a Geth's programming system, and the Geth are very, very advanced, but she was able to get this information before the processing went, yeah, we need to delete this. Bye.
Yeah, before it wiped his memory clean, she was able to get it in time.
Johnny Hellcat. All right, I have no idea what you're talking about. Start over so I can catch up. No.
That's it, yeah. 35 minutes again, you know what I'm saying? And we're still at the beginning, so you just in here. I'm saying, So after basically, I'm saying, so after getting all those three and then getting all that information right there and showing it to the council, the council, but yet the council, they basically, realized Saren was a traitor, and they were, revoked him a respected status, but they still, didn't want to they still didn't want to make a move to go up against this whole entire thing of doing what Saren is basically trying to do, especially
No,
I'm
because
saying
again,
with the Starboard
it was
ship
in the
because.
terminus systems.
Mhm.
It was in the terminus systems. They have no control over that, so they couldn't make a move. But they could send a single Spectre in there to basically do their dirty work and find Saren.
So that's what they basically did right there. Even though honestly, when you basically look at them, they really didn't want to do it because they were talking about it's too early to be letting the humans into the specters, the specter status
Yeah,
and all that right there. Even though they were looking at them as Shepard as a potential candidate, but
yeah,
they were just like with the situation it is right there. It's like what else can we do? So basically, they end up making Shepard a specter,
uh
and
huh,
so that's when the whole missions basically begin, what they basically did do in order to basically find Saren. It's and one of the things was, they were going to need to find Liara because Liara is basically, an expert scientist, on the protein technology and all
yeah.
that right there. So you basically, I'm saying, you're basically looking for her, and you find her. I forget, shit, where do you find her? I forget the place where you basically find her.
Uh, da.
But when you do, she's caught up. She's caught up in this force field
Yeah,
that you have to basically, figure out because she's into these basically ancient ruins and the. Ah, it's
yeah.
wild.
So
It's wild how you found her, and basically turns out they that the Geth and shit like that were looking for her too. So you're basically trying to save her as well as recruit her for your mission.
yeah, she. That's it. Artemis Tau cluster. It's in the Artemis Tau cluster, but I don't think you uh remember the planet's name. But it's in the Artemis Tau cluster, so that galaxy sort of thing. But yes, and thus the game Mass Effect 1 continues the hunt for Saren. Basically.
Navaria.
Um Aha! No, no, not
Well, no,
Navaria.
no, 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 not Navaria. Navaria is where you fight. Shit, I'm so ahead of myself. God damn it. Okay, so I'm going right here. Like while we're talking, I'm also looking at the Mass Effect
Therum.
wiki right here. Thank you.
Therum. It's okay. This is what I do.
Because before you it's like because before you go to Novaria, I'm saying you want to make sure that that you find Liara. You want to make sure
Oh
that you
yeah.
have all your squads and everything like that. Because
Oh yeah.
when
You,
you go
you
into
gotta
Novaria,
say it's you gotta go get Liara first because if you go to Novaria, you'll end up fighting Liara's mother,
mhm.
um, who was oh god, hold on. There's something interesting I found out about Liara's mother. Uh, da, da.
Yeah, like
Da.
her original thing, when she joined Saren, she was basically trying to stop him from doing the stuff that he was doing, but somewhere down the road, she got caught up in the whole, the whole indoctrination right there because that's exactly what Sovereign was basically doing with Saren, like when he got a hold of that ship, it was basically indoctrinating him into doing this whole entire business. She was kind of trying to save Saren from that, but she got wound up into herself and ended up getting indoctrinated her damn self.
Yeah, that's it. Benezia. Benezia's Liara's mother. Uh, and she was voiced by Demona. Yep, Marina Sirtis, who was also the counselor in Star Trek: The Next Generation. and Demona in Gargoyles. So Benezia is, yeah, there you go. See? It all ties together in my fandoms.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to go get Liara before you have to go to Novaria, and you kind of need to prepare everything, but it's also good to level up,
Mm-hmm. Oh
because
man.
yeah,
Yeah, because some of
you don't want to
the
go to Novaria early.
yeah, 'cause some of the things, some of the, and most of all, some of the decisions that you had to make required you to have like a high level Paragon
Yeah.
renegade thing right there. And to really do that, you had to wait. Let's see. Now to really did that, like there's a glitch in the game where you have to go to one of these planets right here, and I don't know when you counter one that has like administrator and then that crooked ass administrator. That's
Oh
basically
yeah, yeah.
is that on the very as well? Or it's like it's close to like one of those, but it's like well he was basically shut down like all these other people who were basically like suspicious of him and trying to make them look bad, and one of them
Yeah,
was like one of these Turians.
yeah, that's basically at the start of Novaria. As soon as you get there, you need to get to Benezia's base
Mhm.
essentially, and the director of the main port of Novaria is not allowing you to go. So it's like, okay, we need to do something to basically get to where we need to get to, and that's when you team up with an undercover internal affairs officer.
Oh yeah,
So you have,
Gianna.
yeah, Gianna. Um, Gianna's going, look, if you can get me evidence that this Solarian is dodgy, you can have whatever you want. And it's like,
Mm.
okay, good deal. Um, and it's basically information to say that he's been taking money out of several accounts and shutting down projects or other stores and things like that don't agree with him. So he's basically being an authoritarian bastard.
Yeah. And not only do you need to get evidence, you need to get people to testify against them, and that's where you get like the Tyrion guy, like one of them right there, and that's where you can basically build up your Paragon or your Renegade because you can just keep
Mm,
on asking that question over and over again. And depends on if you're trying to go basically Paragon or Renegade, you can just do it that way. Now me, I did it because I want to max out my Paragon. So as soon as I basically did that
nah.
right there, that's how I was able to go to the rest of the mission. So I'm like, okay, so now when it comes to like, trying to, make those very influential decisions, they're
Mm.
like, now I
I
got
mean,
myself built up for it.
yeah, I mean, I try and one thing that Mass Effect 1 really encourages is exploration onto different planets, because you are a Spectre. So, yes, your main mission is to hunt Saren down, but what you can do is explore other planets and take down slaver ports, or slave traders. You can take down mercenaries. You can take down independent Geth bases that might be doing something suspicious or related to Saren. And that's another good way of building up your Paragon. And one thing that I do like is, but it's not, I do like, but it's not blatant because you have to talk to the crew, meaning you have to go
Mhm.
out and talk to Garrus and Rex and Tally. Is they have personal missions, which
Yeah,
do help in important decision making, especially for Rex, um, because Rex goes, yeah, I've got my grandfather's armor stolen from us back in the Krogan rebellions. I'd like to get it back. Uh, Garrus wants to find a Solarian that was doing some uh, abominable growing organs inside other people.
yeah, Dr. Hart.
Basically, yeah, Dr. Hart. He was growing organs inside other people, and he got away.
Mm-hmm.
So Garrus wants to get him, and Tally, because she's on something called the pilgrimage, which is basically a coming of age ceremony in the Quarian race. What she has to do is bring back something to her fleet that can be of use,
Yes.
and she wants to get information on the Geth. Something that no Quarian has ever had before, because again, the Geth haven't been seen in 300 years.
Mm-hmm.
So any updated information on the Geth is a must-have, because they want to redeem themselves. So you get those personal missions, and they do help in terms of forging friendships, and you learn more about the characters,
Yeah.
and you grow bonds with these characters. And I was so disappointed that there was only 3 romance options in Mass Effect 1, and I didn't like any of them. And I was going,
Because you don't like Ashley or Kate right there. So, you didn't like Liara either?
I see Liara more as a little sister.
Uh,
Just like, yes, I will pat you on the head when you deserve it, but nah, I couldn't get with Liara. She was just, I think that's because in Mass Effect 1 she is very childish, even though she's like over 100 years old.
But it's basically due to her, like her species as an Asari, because they can live up to 1,000 years. So, and I think Liara is like what 107 or something like that. So if you basically put her age in like well, she is a child, she would be like in human years, she's like 100 and something like that. So that'd be like what, basically 10 or 11. Yikes.
No, don't think of it like that. Don't think of it like that. Don't think of it like that. She's probably about 27 mentally.
Yeah, I'm saying mentally, but it's like because in human years we can live up to 100 if we're lucky.
Yeah, well, Asari can live up to 1,000 years, but
yes,
yeah, no, maybe it's because I was only attracted to the male characters, and I wanted to stab Ashley. I didn't. It was more of, okay, I will pat Liara on the head and tell her she's a good girl, because that's all. I was like, I'm more interested in Garrus and Rex and Tally. I want to hang out with these 3. They've got the more interesting stories. Yeah. Caden could go in a black hole because I'm done with his complaining.
Yeah. You can basically do that until like what, part 2 when it came to the others right there. But when it came to that romance, it's like that's what I said. If I was male, I chose Ashley. If I was female, I chose like Kate and Liara and all that right there. Which we'll get to that part soon. So basically, we're still in Novaria, and after we basically get the evidence and things like that, and people are willing to testify against Annaleus, Gianna basically goes, makes the arrest, and she gives you the garage pass to go to the base where Matriarch Benezia basically, and that's when you start encountering all these Rachni. They start popping up out of nowhere, trying to basically get you.
And they have some of the goriest death scenes ever, and I love it. I said, there is this one Russian guy who just sat there in a chair going, yeah, we're all going to die. The Rachni are being released. Yeah, there's no way to stop them. And he gets pummeled in the chest by an antenna.
Yeah, because he's about to say something. All of a sudden, you just see that thing just...
yeah, just all of a sudden. Dude, you've got something growing out your chest. And I don't think it's a xenomorph.
Yeah, so all these Rachni basically go out of nowhere, and you basically encountering like this Krogan that's trying to talk to like the AI, but he can't he can't get through it because he doesn't.
No, that's on Pharaohs. That's on Pharaohs.
Oh shit! But you got to talk to the AI. You have to basically provide it with a password.
Yeah, you have to provide it with a password, and that sets off the radiation to kill off the remaining Rachni
Mhm.
that are wandering about. But what the Novarian mission does is, if you take Rex, he has things to say about the Rachni. And he's also sort of reliving his ancestors' past, killing the Rachni once
Mhm.
again, and that. Yeah, and it also comes down to when you find the Rachni Queen that is being protected by Benezia. Um, Rex is really the one that pushes Shepard to destroy the Rachni. Because again, he's like, "Hey, if you want us to bail you out, we're not going to do it this time." That sort of thing. So it's really good to take Rex in terms of that perspective. But when it comes to the second character, you can kind of take Liara to try and throw Benezia off.
Yeah, that's what I basically
Um,
did right there. I took Rex and Liara.
yeah,
Sometimes, but it's like I knew I was going to take Liara because I knew Matriarch Benezia was a mama, but it's like it just basically varied when it came to like the other ones. But I remember what you're saying right there, like when it came to like Rex and like
yeah,
Rex
kill the
and Rex
Rachni.
and
I
the
know.
Rachni right there. Now, of course, me,
So,
I chose to spare the Rachni Queen because I'm just a good guy.
I'm always
I'm just a good
50-50.
guy like that. So, no, like I said, during the
Sometimes I
whole gameplay,
destroy, sometimes I save.
yeah, during the whole gameplay, I was mostly Paragon right there. There were once in a while I did like the renegade parts right there when I was just like
Mm.
but that shouldn't even be a renegade like a renegade move, but So I basically say the Rachni Queen, and after you save her right there, no, that's after right there, like because I'm thinking about the part where once you give like the password right there, they give you like what about a few seconds to make it to the elevator before the whole entire thing is asleep. You got a shit ton.
Yeah.
You got a shit ton of Rachni.
Run,
Like you got to
Rachni,
shoot through in order to get there. So
run,
you just shooting and running.
shoot, run, shoot, run. Or just in
I'm
the
just
case
shooting
of
and running,
every
trying to make it to the
shepherd
elevator.
turns Krogan and just runs. It's like, we are Krogan and we are getting our asses out of here.
So you make that decision right there, and then that mission is finally finished, and then you got the options of basically because they're basically optional. It doesn't it doesn't matter which one you go on to first. Like when it comes to like Navaria and Theros, you can go to either one.
Oh no, you
And
can
it's
go
gonna
to either one first, but
mm,
it always says you've got to go to Vermeer
yeah.
as like the second planet. Um, and Vermeer is basically when you finally get to meet Saren
Mm.
face to face and sort of fight him as he hovers above you, going, "I am looking down on you, peasant."
Yeah, that
And
was
it, but yeah, Vermeer is a very tropical planet, a very beautiful planet, and it is swarming with Geth.
yeah.
So
Pharaoh's is basically like you contact the what's the thing called the plant the thorium.
yes, the thorium.
Yeah,
What?
because everybody's there
Don't
is like
think of it as a flower. Whatever you
mm,
do not think as the thorium, which is always described as a plant.
mm.
Think of it as a freaking mushroom. Okay, it's a fungus
Yeah,
with a
because
face.
all the people there are just basically, like weirding out and all that right there. And you would not like say, like they're just basically talking, acting, acting funny, or
Yeah,
they get like these, these migraines.
yeah. You can tell something's going on. They don't want to leave Zoo's Hope,
Mm.
which I mean I will say that the colony of Zoo's Hope is actually an Easter egg from BioWare because they have a game called Jade Empire, and one of the characters is called Shenzhou,
Oh
and
yeah, I played
it,
that.
yeah, so Zoo's Hope is essentially an Easter egg to that character in Jade Empire. Just wanted to say that. If I didn't say that, it would have been on my mind. But still. um, yeah, so the thorium, in a sense, has is basically doing self-preservation. It knows that there are people above it that can help protect itself, so it sends spores into the atmosphere to infect the brains of the colonists. Not so much where they are total zombies, but enough to influence them to protect the thorium. And in a way, that's kind of impressive from a plant that is basically a fungus with a face.
Yeah, because once it's figured out, you know what I'm saying, what it's basically what you're basically trying to do, it actually, it actually gets the people to, try to attack you, and you have to basically, knock them out with these like special grenades that you have. If you
Yeah,
want to try to prevent from killing them, like you get
yeah.
these special
I mean,
grenades from a certain place, and it'll just knock them out.
yeah. If you save a group of scientists, they create a gas that neuralizes the toxins within the brain from thorium, and knocks out the colonists. And yes, that's a good way to build up paragon points, and it's
Yeah.
also a good way to build up renegade points if you just go out there guns a blazing. So,
Now, me,
yeah,
I chose to save him until we got to the part right there, where we're trying to find authority, and the next thing you know, it's like it's creating all these damn Asari for some damn reason, and then so when you
well,
get to the thorium
um,
and you find, am I
no,
jumping the gun?
no, I'm just trying to explain why it's creating green Asari. Um, it's because Seren went up with one of Benezia's disciples or students, and it gave it to the thorium, so that the thorium could use it as not just to get the DNA so it can create clones of that Asari to basically allow the thorium to speak. But it also had the memories of that Asari that basically allowed the thorium to get up to date with what the hell is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you end up
yeah, it was
free,
kind of,
and you end up freeing that Asari, from the thorium. I said once you defeat it, her name is
yeah,
like what, Shiala.
yeah, Shiala, and she is forever green.
Yeah, because you'll encounter her again.
Mass Effect
Like I
2.
said, on down the road. So now, like I said, now that Novaria and Pharaohs are done right there, now that's when you go to Verimire. You
Well, no, technically,
know,
it's either Pharos or Novaria first. You can do either one of those, but Vermeer is the second planet, and then it's either Novaria or Pharos for the third planet, because halfway is again Vermeer is where you have to make possibly the biggest decision in the Mass Effect game, and that's basically who do you kill, Caden or Ashley?
yes, that, and I hated that. I hated that decision right there because there was just no getting past it. It's just like one of them got to go, man. Like and I think that's what made the game like real interesting right there. Yeah, yeah, this like one of the things right there. That you got to make sacrifice, and then God,
I always have to roll a dice or flip a coin at the start of it, because it's like, okay, if anything, I am going to save those Solarians, because at the start of Maya, you have to split Caden and Ashley up. One of them has to go with the bomb, one of them has to go with the Solarians.
mm-hmm.
And I always want to save those Solarians, because if you save those Solarians, hold the line.
Yeah,
Um,
Captain Curie.
Captain Kirihee, he pops up later on down the line and is a huge help.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, anyway, but so it's like, okay, who's going with the Solarians, Caden or Ashley?
Yeah.
So whoever's with the bomb, that's who's getting killed for me. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, I actually got a list of the characters right here. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can bring this up. Not that. Where's that? I can't. Oh, there it is. I can't find like the. Right. Okay, here it is. All right, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, well, of course, we're starting out with our characters right here. We got, I'm saying, we got male and we got female shepherd.
Uh-huh.
Like that, that you can easily basically customize to your liking. Which, like I said, if you plan on PC, you can find like special mods that can create like some people were showing like some mods on here. I'm just like, how did they do that right there? Because I can't.
Yeah.
Now, oh, you have to be on PC in order to do that right there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm console. Shut up. All right. Then we have like I said, Liara right here.
There is baby sister Liara. Yep.
All right. All right. We got our boy Caden. Oh, you're like
Whiny complaining bastard.
Yeah. Well, he's complaining because he still got those jacked up L2 implants in his head.
He complains about every other thing.
And he wouldn't upgrade to the L3s for some reason.
Well, that's on him. If he's still got the L2s, then don't complain about it. But no, I'm going to complain about my headaches.
Yeah, he just gets migraines from time to time.
And he complains about them all the time.
And then we got our girl Ashley. Like I said, who was just like I'm saying, Presser right there. She has a thing about it, trying to basically prove herself. Because her family's tainted history, which she's basically trying to rebuild, and she's basically like one of those that starts out having a prejudice against the other aliens, but eventually learns to get along with them. All right. Hey, how do you get up here so early? Like you're in two, man. Like not yet. All right, then we got our boy Garrus.
Best character ever. Keep it on that one for a while.
And I say, we in Viper, of course, is the ultimate Garrus stand. So,
yes, I am. Yes,
there you
I
go, right
am.
there.
Johnny Blaze, you're wrong.
Yes, Johnny Blaze, right there. No, this is Kyle. Bad Kyle. Bad.
Good Kyle. Good Kyle.
Kyle.
Well done, Kyle.
Bad Kyle. All right.
So we're gonna pose it.
Then we got our girl Tally.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm also a Stanford Tally. There is Rex. Big, lovable Krogan.
Big tough guy Rex.
Indeed, big tough guy Rex, and he is awesome.
All right, then we got
our Joker.
And those are the characters that you can play with right here. Now we just basically jumping into our NPCs. Like you can't play with them, but they play important roles in the game right here. And of course, Joker, the best pilot of the game right there.
The best smart mouth pilot you can ever ask for.
All right, then we got our boy Jenkins. Like I said, I'm saying, we got to know a little about him, but I still hate they made him a throwaway character. I think he could have been very interesting, but like I said, they threw him away basically because they had to make room for Ashley when you encountered her, which I'm like, that shit sucks. Yeah,
and again, why couldn't it be Caden? Please shoot Caden.
All right, then we got the captain himself, Anderson.
Captain Anderson, aka Goliath.
Keith David himself.
Yep, Goliath, Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David is a cool voice actor, man.
All the stuff he is legend.
Oh man. Okay, then we got Exo Presser right here. Like I said, who was just like Ashley, where he didn't he had a strong prejudice against Turians, but after going through the whole entire thing, through the whole Mass Effect, he basically learned to get over that and why he doesn't fully trust him and all that right there after being on missions with him and basically working with him. He was like, you know what, like I said, not all of them are that bad right there, and I need to learn to get rid of that right there. That's another thing about
so you only realize that, you only learn about that through the the DLC that basically allows Shepard to go to the Normandy crash site in Mass Effect 2.
Oh yeah, part 2.
Yeah, and yeah, you can talk to Presley on the Normandy 1 in Mass Effect 1 and kind of learn about it that way, but it's harder hitting when you read the documents that he leaves on the Normandy 1. You know, it's like, I'm so proud of you. You died with honor. Anyway, moving on.
But yeah, he learned. He learns. And all right, here we got old Dr. Chocolates right here. Which, like I said, she's a cool character. Just basically, they're like,
yeah,
to look after, the sick, and provide like good, good dialogue. Like I said, she was way more fun in Mass Effect 2. They gave she had like a tiny good part in the first one right there, but Mass Effect 2 is where you really got to know a character.
Yeah, you got to really flesh out her backstory, who she was. Her first name is Karen, and that she likes to have a drink. She's a Karen, but she likes to have a drink every now and then. The fact is that you can. It sort of becomes a tradition if you activate that in Mass Effect 2. So, and it's quite funny. She's actually quite funny drunk.
When you get like the ice brandy.
Yeah, the cerise ice brandy.
That stuff is purple. Well, all the drinks are purple for some reason.
Well, I guess.
Oh,
there is snapping turtleudina.
Like I said, yeah. And he made like his own entire character. He made you want to punch him in his goddamn face, man. That's why when it came to Mass Effect 3, spoiler alert, man, I look forward to that part.
Oh yeah, so do I, because I get to kill off either Kaidan or Ashley again.
You're horrible.
No, I'm not.
And there's the man himself, Saren. You traitor. You're a traitor.
No, he was just indoctrinated. He was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to do the right thing at first. He was probably hunting down Sovereign, thinking, yes, that you're going to destroy all organic life. And then Sovereign was like, I'm going to manipulate you and indoctrinate you into thinking certain ways. And, he just got indoctrinated.
Yeah, and when you look at his design right here, you can tell he's Tyrion, but you can see how he was slowly he was modifying into like a husk himself. I wouldn't say it was more like I'm saying. He was more husking out.
Yeah, it's the more implants he got, the more husk-like he became, the more marauder-like he became, you should say. Mm-hmm. So he was just a loyal servant of Sovereign, and he didn't even know it.
Yeah, basically, it was like Sovereign did to him what basically he ended up doing to Matriarch Benezia.
Yeah. Yeah, also Matriarch Benezia was also indoctrinated. Yeah, she was also indoctrinated by Sovereign, but luckily, because she was like over 1,000 years old, she was able to close off some of her mind. That was that's how she was able to fight it off for a bit. But they were both indoctrinated, and that just, again, it shows how powerful the Reapers are. Especially their mind control abilities. And if anything, by the end of it, you're going, how the hell can the Reapers mind control people when they are just giant machines?
Yes, Ken, like I said, I'm saying he was Cart.
I don't care who he is, Kyle. I hate him.
About the voice actor. we're getting that in the future right there. All right, there she is.
There's Matriarch Benezia, aka Demona.
Mm-hmm. And like and I'm saying, and like how like her what do you call them, mate said things right there, like, damn, that rack.
I mean, one thing you do learn about the Asari is that what you see is not what you get with Asari, because
Mhm.
each alien species sees them as a blue variation of themselves. So Turians, whenever they see Asari, they see Turian Asari, just a bit differently.
Yeah,
Um, so whenever that, the reason why we're seeing them as a human face on the Asari is because that's what humans see, and we are playing as a human.
yeah,
So yeah, it's the Asari are not what they seem, and yet everybody goes goo goo gaga for them.
yeah. And the wild part about the Sire, what makes them very unique is because they can mate with any species, and it's actually kind of encouraged because they have this thing like when a Sire like mate with other Sire, they run risks of creating these things called Ardat Yashis. And unfortunately, like I'm saying,
Yes.
it's very rare. Like I said, there was only like what three known cases of Ardat Yashi basically being created, and we'll get into that later on. But here we are, these three jackasses right here. Oh God, man. I hated the council. I hate them. So when it came to the so
I
when it
know
came
how
to
I feel about Ashley and Caden.
the so when it came to the point there, well, I'm saying, save the council or did shoot. No, man, we all going up the side, man. Fuck the council, shoot. Yeah, didn't want to
Again,
help
I'm
you.
50-50 with them. Sometimes I kill them, sometimes I save them.
Like I said, didn't want to help
Because
humanity out, but now you want us to save you. Not, man, forget you. That's just like the government. They don't want to help you, but then they want I'm saying it, but they want you to help them. Like, no,
But
get
I would
down.
say that if you don't save them, the council that replaces them in Mass Effect 2 and 3, they're even worse.
That's a government for you. I'm saying
Yeah.
you get rid of one horrible person. I'm saying another snake is just going to take its place. But enough about politics. Dr. Michelle, man.
Dr. Michelle, the woman who tries to steal Garrus away, and it will never happen. No matter how much Tyrian chocolate she sends him.
And the wild part is, like I said, you get to know little about her because, like I said, she also becomes one of those characters. Like as the game progresses, you start seeing like more and more. And there even comes a point, man, where you can actually like you can actually pick her up like I
Yeah, I've
said
never
once
been
again
able to
ahead
do
of
that.
game. Yeah, in part three.
Yeah, I've never been able to do that mainly because I saved Chakwas. And she is awesome.
Yeah, but it's like it gets to a point where it's like you can encounter like Dr. Michelle and all that right there, like because you encounter both of them there, and it's like you have going through like the little mission things like that. Again, you have the choice of like you can either bring her along and replace like Dr. Chakwas, and all that right there, like
Mm,
or you can basically go back to Dr. Chakwas and be like, I'm saying, come back to the normal, like I'm saying, it's, I'm saying
yeah,
it's not it's not a good place without you. So you got a choice
yeah.
between her or them.
I would rather have Chakwas.
Yes, that's what I basically did right there. All right, there she go right there. Oh, Gianna Parasini.
Yep, Gianna Parasini, who hates wearing a dress, but that's the first time you see her in a dress.
And you also, encounter her again in part two.
Mass Effect 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the super fan,
Conrad.
Conrad.
Conrad, the simp of simps.
Oh God, man, he wants to be Shepard so goddamn bad, man. And for me, it was like I was basically being good up to him until it basically got to that third part where we talk about like. Shoot, like, could you put in a good word for me? Maybe I could be a Spectre just like you, and that's where you basically have to put him in his place.
Yeah, I ignore him.
Hmm. No,
Because
I
that's what you
ended
need
up
to
doing. I ended up doing that right there, and of course, basically encountered him in the other two games, and
do. I just
yeah,
can't be dealing with him.
I was nice to
Oh,
him to that third part, and I'm like, I was saying, yo, you want to know what it's like to be a Spectre? Here it is, right? like, what are you doing, Shepard? I'm like, I'm showing you. This is what the hell I go through.
yeah. I've got a gun to my face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
even when I'm just out shopping.
The reporter.
Now you can hit her, or you can try and change her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, you can do that in Mass Effect 3, but it's just so good to punch her in Mass Effect 1.
Oh god. I did it. I did it just for fun, but when it came basically down to it, it's like I just basically like beat her at her own game because you know how reporters are. They try to
Oh,
they
yeah.
ask you these shitty ass questions and stuff like that to try to get a reaction out of you so they can have their scoop. But it's like as
Yeah.
Shepard, I just basically played her. Like on the first one, then on the second one. But like I said, but when it came down to the third one, was able to finally convince her.
It's just nice to punch her in the ass or punch her in the
Oh.
face.
Oh, it's enjoyable, man. Especially like when you watch those damn videos.
Oh, yeah.
Cause she is, man. She is a bitch. But
She is.
that's a reporter for you. Okay. Oh, and there's the Reaper himself,
Sovereign.
Sovereign. You know, Sovereign is to me. Sovereign is kind of like Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. Like he's like the runt that they basically send to check out everything right there. So when so when the big guns basically came in, they'll
Oh,
know what's
yeah.
up. He was
He's a
kind of like the
scout that.
sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. I mean, you later find out why they only sent one Reaper, and that's because, and why they were
Mhm.
targeting the Citadel in the first place, and that's because when you get to the planet known as Ilos, you find out that the surviving Protheans that the Reapers actually wiped out before,
Mhm.
they created a code that would stop the creepers, uh, the basic maintenance workers in the Citadel, from opening up the Citadel as a huge mass relay for the Reapers. Um, so the that's how the Reapers got through the first time.
Yeah, see, Cal gets it.
Uh, yeah, no, I get it as well. He is Raditz. He is the scout that is sent out to see what the hell is wrong and who's out there. And yeah, yeah. So they find the Sovereign finds out that basically the code that they send out isn't being received
Mhm.
by the little maintenance workers that all everybody says to leave alone. And the fact is, if you didn't leave
Mhm.
them alone, you would actually find out that they are just creepier than what they actually are. you know, they're the ones that instigate the opening up of the Citadel to become a mass relay to let the Reapers through. So the
Yeah.
Protheans kind of stopped that, and Sovereign's like, well, I got to get this thing back open and open up the relay so the Reapers can get through. And yeah, it didn't go well. He got destroyed.
Yeah, but they had hell destroying them, so it was just like like okay, if we got this, had this hell just fighting one Reaper, just imagine what it's gonna be like when the rest of these motherfuckers come. And so that's like, so that was like the biggest thing, like going into like part two was basically them just trying to find like like ways because they I said because Shepard already knows the Reapers are coming, you know,
Oh yeah.
now they got to find out ways. I'm saying how they can destroy them to keep them from doing what they basically do, which is every 50,000 years, they come and they wipe out motherfucking existence,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't leave it enough so they can basically rebuild again, so they can basically come back and destroy that goddamn shit again. And Shepard's basically trying to end that right there. So after
And
they, what?
if you think about it, it's kind of like the Genophage.
Mm,
The Genophage is basically uh, gardening the Krogan, whereas the Reapers are gardening the universe, or the galaxy, I should say,
mm,
because they spend those 50,000 years in hibernation in dark space, and it's only like, they get an alarm clock at 50,000 years ago. Oh, time to destroy the galaxy again. So, but this time it was delayed. Um,
yeah,
so
Kyle.
the the rest of the Reapers, they stay back in dark space, sent Sovereign out to try and figure out what was going on. Sovereign gets killed, and they're like, "Well, phooey, what do we do now?"
Hmm. So,
Yeah,
so what do? Well, a month later, they send out these things called collectors, and they
yeah,
target Shepard, which basically starts like the second Mass Effect game. They target Shepard in the Normandy, easily overcomes them right there. And Shepard's biggest thing is him trying to basically save everybody he can. And the last person is basically Joker, who's basically keeping everything steady. So he gets Joker to escape pod, but during that time right there, the Geth came back for one more attack, which basically zaps Shepard into space. And
yeah,
he loses like the compression in the suit right there, and kills
yeah.
him.
The oxygen pipe gets cut, and the oxygen and it is slowly choking to death.
Hmm.
Basically, what they call spaced. But Joker, he's got the mentality of a pilot must go down with his ship, and I'm saving the Normandy no matter what I do. And it's like, you cannot save this book.
I'm like, this thing is gone.
This thing is gone. You've got chairs floating out into space. You've got freaking. Oh, look, I see Sharice Brandy floating right past you. Come on, we need to go. Like,
So Shepard gets space right there, and that's when the intro basically comes up, and next thing you know, so Cerberus basically finds him for the next 2 years. They have been this program called the Lazarus Project, which is basically built to bring them back.
I
So
mean,
basically,
what we should say is this isn't the first time you encounter Cerberus. You do, in fact, encounter Cerberus in Mass Effect 1, but it's like smaller cells of what they're doing. They seem to, in a way, they seem to be like random rogue scientists that want to study the Rachni and the Thorian creepers and other aliens and things like that. And in other times, they are human supremacists, where they will do anything to make sure that humanity comes out on top. To the point, and
like that doing
yeah,
the side missions.
yeah, you find that out by doing the side missions, and again, there's one side mission where you have to try and find Admiral Kahoku, and you find out that he's been taken by Cerberus and they killed him via an injection. And they just left his body in one of the cages so creatures could eat him, therefore leaving no evidence behind. Yeah. So this isn't the first time you meet Cerberus, and you can have a history with that. And it does kind of, if you know that history for Mass Effect 1, it's like, yeah, I'm not trusting you at all. And they try their best in Mass Effect 2 to make it look like Cerberus is, good players, good guys. No, they are not.
Nope.
No, they are not.
Yeah, I said. Yeah, and a lot of side missions in Mass Effect 1 were really great. Like this one right here, where you basically, after you save Shiala right there, you'll encounter her in Mass Effect 2, basically on Ilium, because she's trying to find find help for all the victims in Zoo's Hope from the Thorian Creeper, because they still suffer from
certain symptoms. Like as I said previously, the Asari are mostly blue. She is forever green because of the Thorian. And also her biotics are slightly unstable and out of control sometimes. Biotics being a power that is given by dark matter that basically enables telekinesis. Yeah. That's all it is. It's flashy telekinesis. But it's also a way to fight. But yeah, and the Asari are practically bathed in dark matter, so they have biotics in abundance. But
every Asari knows biotics.
Yeah, every Asari knows biotics, but hers are out of control because of the Thorian and what's going on with that. And she's there on Ilium to try and find help. and an- another Asari is going, no, I'm not helping humans because humans are shite.
Yeah, like
It's like,
cause
because
I'm saying
two.
she holds a grudge.
Yeah, well, she holds a grudge for the wrong reason. You know, the freaking her two daughters were working on the Citadel. One at CSEC as a receptionist, I believe, um, and another one was working for a consort.
Oh
Who
yeah,
is
that is sorry.
yeah,
Well, not the Asari
not the
consort
consort,
herself,
but the,
but it's like you see the Asari there like because it's
yeah,
like it's Asari and a couple of human a human people there as well like so that has to be one of them.
yeah. It's basically the first. If you go to the consort,
Hmm.
consort Shiala, her receptionist, her
Yeah,
greeter, is that daughter,
yeah,
and
that one.
because both of them got killed on the Citadel when Sovereign attacked, she's now blaming humans. It's like, oh no, that was Sovereign's fault, not ours.
Yeah, but but if you made
So
that, but if you made that decision to like just basically attack sovereign and like abandon the council and things like that, a lot of them basically like hold that grudge. But it's like she's basically like there, and you have to basically convince that Asari to like to like get over like basically to bury the hatchet with the whole entire thing, and and help them out, and which I basically end
yeah.
up doing. And so once I
Mhm.
tell her that right there, and she's just like thanking you, and somehow and comes on to you really.
Yeah, Shiala comes on to you.
Yeah,
This green Asari right here comes on to Shepard, and it's
yeah,
like,
male and female. Don't forget though,
yep,
like I said,
male.
the sorry or the sorry or the true damn. Did they
They are
call
monospecies. They
yeah
are essentially a
monosexual?
monosexual. They can mate with anybody and anything, uh, but their child will always be um, an Asari daughter. Uh, and the way that they start saying it is like, oh, you're half Krogan or you're a quarter Krogan because that's where some of your genes come from, and it's yeah. So they don't see it as a mother father relationship. It's just parents, and that's just how the species is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like fine. You want to create an all female species? That's fine. Because again, Asari are not what they appear to be.
Yeah, and it's the way that it's the way that they wrote. I'm saying that they wrote this these characters right here, like the species that really made it real. That really made it really pop off. Because it ain't like the stuff that we basically see right now. They actually gave these people a really good background. Like explained the whole entire thing, especially like when it comes to like with the mating right there, because their mating doesn't require sex. It requires this thing called melding, which basically I'm saying
Yeah,
they reproduce like through the mind where they they get in sync with the person they mating with mind, which would what they get like their DNA signature, something like that right
yeah.
there.
They somehow get a bit of DNA from whoever they're mating with, and that creates a child within the Asari.
Hmm.
But basically, what the melding does, if they just want a pleasurable experience, um, they stimulate to the nerves, so to speak, to create a pleasurable experience throughout the body. Um, and yes, there is also the sexy time on top of that. But still, that's what the Asari do.
Yeah, it's like
They
they get
can
out of
manipulate.
yeah, it's like but like I said, they can have sex, but it's like they don't require sex in order to like to reproduce
Yeah,
like humans do.
yeah,
So that's
and
one of
that's
the
why.
but
Yeah, I'm just saying that's why that they are an interesting species, But in a way, I stay away from them because you are not what you appear to be.
I think this are cool though. Oh yeah, I did like this mission right here. Like but you can only get this mission if you're a colonist. Now
Yeah,
there's a mission right there like of a girl called I think Talitha or something like that. Like if you pick yourself as a colonist You like when you come back from like one of the missions out of like Pharos or Navaria,
Yeah.
you get this basically like this call right here like about this girl on like this girl on the dock that's like threatening to commit suicide. So you basically go back up there to the docks. You encounter like one of these lieutenants. He's telling you what's basically going on, and Shepard offered like to try to help. See, this is where the High Paragon and
Yeah.
Renegade will basically come in. Like cause you can basically talk her down, and with every
Mm-hmm.
decision that you basically make right there, that gains more trust. Shepard will basically take a step, tell her, I'm gonna take a step towards you right there till you basically get go close to him and
Mm-hmm.
convince them to take a sedative that basically knocks them out. So
Yeah.
once you do that right there, and if you do it basically correctly, they'll basically take her, take her somewhere where she can receive like the proper therapy, or you can have the option at any time, like if you feel like you can't basically talk her down, they have a sniper, ready to shoot just in case she asks for food to take her out, which I'd never do, because that's horrible.
Well,
But
yeah, it's just an easy way.
yeah,
Well, basically,
I've seen the videos, but it's like, yeah, I always end up talking it down.
yeah. I mean, what
It's a
this
fun.
girl is if you chose the background of a colonist on your shepherd, what happens is you've basically got a bit of mental trauma that way in because the Batarians, another alien race that I basically want to shoot every time I see them.
Yeah, the
They are
Batarians
the
are horrible.
most yeah, the Batarians are the ones that are the prolific slave traders, and they attack Shepard's colony of Mindwar,
Hmm.
and he and she is one of the ones that gets taken away as a young girl. Shepard is able to escape. This young girl couldn't, and she is then beaten and tortured into becoming a slave. And she has that mentality of it. If she does something wrong, she's going to get zapped by the zappy stick, or
Hmm.
she's going to get beaten and things like that. So you've got to break past that mindset, um, simply because the Batarians have done so much torture to this girl.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and I mean, I personally, as the backgrounds, I like Soul Survivor, which is because it's again rooted to Cerberus. Um, they the Soul Survivor being that your unit goes to a planet to answer a distress signal, not knowing that distress beacon has been placed there deliberately in a thresher maw nest, and the thresher maws are basically big giant worms that spit
Oh yeah,
venom.
yeah, that big ass thing, man.
Yeah.
I encountered a whole bunch of those, man.
Oh yeah.
That was another
They
thing
leak.
about That was another thing about Mass Effect One, like having like the Mako, the
Oh yeah.
what's called the Mako right there,
Yeah, the
driving that thing
Mako.
around.
Driving that thing on the flats, and all of a sudden you're getting chased by a freaking thresher maw, and it's like, and we turn round. We're getting sprayed with venom, and the shields can't take it. We don't have enough Omni gel to slather
Yeah,
on.
in the first one, I'm saying you got the Mako though, I'm saying, to do it right there. But in the second one, oh god, man. Yeah, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I like the dismission right here because it really gave you a chance to to test out your your Paragon and all that right there, to basically,
Mm.
talk her down right there into, saving her life. All right. Then there's the Rachni Queen.
Rachni Queen. Rachni Queen. And she is the only Rachni that you can actually talk to, and is
Hmm.
quite reasonable. The others just want to kill and eat your ass.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
And how
And
they
Kyle is right. The Mako drove like ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's if you couldn't drive it right. I was able to
That's
get.
if
I
you
was able.
couldn't drive it correctly. No, I mean if you had good controls over uh you know, the camera and the steering and everything like that. It's like, yeah, this is a good ride. Until you're having to go over mountains, and then it's like, I hope I do not turn
That's
over and get stuck like a turtle.
that's why I had the hell right there, because some of like the resources that you were looking for required you to go to these impossible places on the mountains, and I'm like,
Yes.
why the hell did they put it right here?
I know, and you go and explore the up the frigging mountain, and then it's like you get to a little chest or a cache point, and it's like you do not have enough you do not have enough marks in electronics, and it's like, I'm a freaking vanguard. I don't have any electronics to speak of. Yeah, I'm not an engineer. It's like, it's almost saying, yes, if you want to unlock this, you need to be an engineer. And it's like, you freaking.
You suck.
You suck. I want to be a vanguard and shoot things with freaking shotguns and blast them away with biotics. And no, you're telling me I need to be an engineer so I can unlock this thing.
There he is, like I said, hold the line.
Hold
I
the
like that
line.
speech, man. Shoot, I'm like, damn, that's making me want to. Yeah, let's go shoot.
It speaks to your inner soldier.
Yeah, old boy gave a good speech right there. Like, yeah, let's go. Shit. Oh, this is a video game. Ah, Nasana Dantius.
Oh yeah, you kill a sister.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm saying, then you encounter again in Mass Effect 2.
Yep.
Which we'll get to
It's
that.
an
I'll say we'll
ongoing
get to that.
story.
Yeah. But it's
One thing I liked about Mass Effect was the ongoing characters that they had in all three games. You meet one in Mass Effect 1 and you don't expect them to see them again in Mass Effect 2, and lo and behold, there she is.
Yep. I say there are a whole bunch of characters I'm saying that you basically end up seeing too. That's what made this game very interesting. Because when you uploaded your previous game to the brand new game, all this stuff basically came with it. Every decision that you basically made, every
Because
decision you made had
decisions
consequences.
matter.
Yep.
Indeed. In this game, decisions matter. So you have it's why you have to play several times. It's why it's got so much replayability. Yeah.
And that's what
That sort of
made this
thing.
game really stand out.
Yeah.
And of course, there's the Asari consort herself.
Yep. There's the
Which she,
prostitute, known as the
yeah.
consort.
Which everybody was breaking their neck to try to get a moment with and
Yeah.
all that right there. And I think when you went there as Shepherd, it's like 3 months, damn.
Yep.
Shepherd was like, why can't I see her now? Like, oh, she's a very busy person.
Yeah, she's a very busy prostitute.
Everybody,
/ therapist.
yeah, everybody want a piece of that. They just want to hear a word.
Oh, that's why I say she's a therapist. She
Right.
soothes the
Okay,
soul with words.
now we're getting in. Now we're getting into part 2 right here. With old boy right here,
Tim.
the elusive man.
No, it is Tim. Tim.
Huh?
The elusive man with the crazy eyes.
Mm-hmm. But the elusive man was basically, like I said, in charge of service right there, and he's basically, kind of like how Udina is. His whole entire biggest thing is like, basically trying to build
He wants
humanity,
to
trying to
prop up
preserve humanity.
humanity.
He wants to, yeah, he basically trying to prop them up as like the top dog, right there, really.
Yeah. He's trying to save humanity, he's trying to upgrade humanity and things like that. And sometimes it is at the detriment of the other alien races, or it is at the detriment of humanity itself. But the way he sees it is he's just doing good.
Yeah,
he's just doing what he thinks is right.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to do this good thing by any means necessary, whatever it takes to preserve like the the human race and to basically to progress it in a way. But it's like a lot of his method and a lot of his choices and stuff like that really do more harm than it do good.
Yeah.
So when Shepard
Yeah.
when Shepard basically when they basically bring Shepard back and 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 he finally like encounters him, it was kind of like a thing, a really iffy thing where he didn't trust him because, well, of course, it's Cerberus right there, so of course you're not going to fully trust him. But they kind of have like the same, mission. They know that the Reapers
Yeah.
are coming, and they know that they need to find a way to stop them. And since the alliance, and since the alliance isn't basically like doing anything that they can to like because part of
Well,
them they don't truly believe about the Reaper thing right there, but
yeah,
Cerberus.
the Alliance don't believe about the Reapers, and plus the Alliance are caught up in red tape via the Council, as well as their own inner
Hmm.
politics. But
Yeah,
because Cerberus is an outside force, they can do whatever the hell they like, and they have funding up the backside.
you see why I
Because
brought
apparently
Viper
they
on here.
spent. Well,
That's why I brought you on here, Viper, because see, you can catch the stuff that I miss.
yeah, they have fun because the Lazarus Project, which brings Shepard back to life, it costs millions, and it uh, the there's actually a video at one point where the scientists are going, yeah, we kind of need 2 million credits to help with um, Project Lazarus, and the elusive man, Tim himself, he just goes, "Granted, we need Shepard," and it's like, where are you getting this money? And it turns out,
I have no
yeah,
idea.
they are funded. They are funded quite heavily by people who sympathise with their beliefs and things like that, and it's like, okay, I can see where they get the money. Um, but again, you kind of get what the elusive man. He is a well written character in the fact that
Mm-hmm.
he can play you being like. Yeah, you can see that he's doing good for both humanity and the other alien races, but at the same time, it's like you are dubious as fuck.
Yes.
Like, it's like, really, you're going to you put my ship in danger. You put my crew in danger just because you wanted to test a theory.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Y-
when they basically went to that one mission.
Yeah.
All right.
It- oh, I hate you.
What? Everybody, why is everybody hating on my boy Jacob? Man, I thought Jacob was a very
Jacob
good.
is Jacob is boring.
I thought Jacob was a very good character. Like I'm saying, yeah, he didn't provide much. Basically, like I'm saying, Jacob was more like I'm saying he was more like basically an extra gun, a hired hand. But it's like you know, I don't know. I liked him because he had a really good he had a really good story, and he was a real laid back character.
He was very typically written. He's a black guy and his father ran
Mm.
off and left him alone. You know, the,
Yeah,
the
I was
stereotype
trying to
there.
overlook that stereotype.
Just like, oh yeah, his
They thought people
dad
were gonna
ran off.
overlook that right there. I'm like, dang, yeah.
His dad ran off
Like,
and
way to go,
created a
Bioware.
harem. His dad ran off. He went out to get cigarettes and he created a harem and decided to leave Jacob alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically.
No,
But
but other than
nonetheless,
that, he's
Just
boring.
but
It's like,
nonetheless, like I said, Jacob made the best of out of himself. Got involved with service. Like, well, not before service. He was with the Alliance.
yeah, he was with the Alliance, but again, really, what was his motivation for leaving the Alliance?
Hmm.
Um, you know, he wanted to have more action, yet he becomes a freaking bodyguard on the Project Lazarus, where the only thing he's fighting is robots.
Yeah, he was kind of like
It's like,
where he was with the Alliance, but he felt like he could do something. I'm saying much more without the rules, with the heavy rules and regulations. So he basically jumped over to Cerberus to.
yeah.
Ah,
I mean, I get it. He's just boring. There's nothing there to really captivate me to his character.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a goody two shoes soldier until Mass Effect 3, where if you romance Jacob as femshep, he cheats on you. And it's like, really? The black stereotypes do not stop.
man.
See? See? A lot of faults for Jacob. A lot of
Yeah,
faults for Jacob. And
yeah.
BioWare is outwardly racist if you're going that way.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
black men.
we're just gonna write this black guy in here and give him every stereotype all like. Okay. All right, here we move on. Oh man, Jack. Oh,
Yeah.
this crazy wild motherfucker right here, man. Jack was. I'm saying Jack was a great, cool character, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she with a mouth like a freaking sailor, I tell you.
Oh, cause she cussed up a storm more than anybody now. Jack, I'm saying that I like Jack because Jack. This was my favorite. This was my favorite person to romance right here because you had. I'm saying you really had to work for that romance because that motherfucker's outer shell man was so damn thick, man, and then to be slick enough to chop her down to the fact where she when you did find saying romanticide to get her close to things like that, man, I'm saying she was practically in tears because I'm saying you broke down through her because she has huge trust issues because all throughout her life, well, besides the server stuff and things like that, everybody who she's ever encountered has basically only used her for either sex or for her biotics,
Yeah.
and so she
Yeah,
has
so you can
she has huge
understand
trust
why
issues.
she is, why she has major trust issues, why she is as hard as she is, and
Mhm.
you know, I love her.
Yeah,
I
so
love her.
I'm saying, so like with the guy when you're like with the guy shepherd, and you just basically coming down there like talk to her little by little, and there's in the point where you can actually I'm saying like talk about you always coming down here like I'm saying like why are you doing it? Because this is just about sex. Why don't you just see it? And you
Yeah.
gotta trust and you gotta trust to actually pick that right there. Like yeah, I just want to fuck. She's like, well, let's do it then.
Well, she is the epitome of just using sex for pleasure, not intimacy.
Mm,
That sort of thing. She is a good character to show that because of what she's been through, and she's just in a way she's using the people who are using her. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, but the thing
and
is with that part right there, like but if you if she when she brings up the part, I'm like, if this is just about sex, then why don't you just say it? Now, if you agree to that right there, then you can't romance her.
nope.
It's everything just stops right then and there. But like I said, but if you just like no, I want to get to know you even more for that right there.
Yeah.
That's where it basically continues.
And you find out that she's basically done everything illegal that you can ever think of, even
Hmm.
down to graffiti. You
Yeah, I know
know?
like shit. I know like Shepard said with everything that you mentioned right there. I'm surprised you even threw vandalism up in there.
Yep. Well, you shouldn't go around writing stuff on Hannah property because they're a bit
Oh,
touchy about that.
oh, the hand art, man. Now I have a theory about the. I have a theory about the hand art, man. And I feel like like Ed Boon from like the Mortal Kombat series. I feel like when he created the Kaiten right there, he kind of stole a lot of stuff from the hand art because you know how the hand art talk. They refer to themselves as we in this point, right there.
Oh yeah.
Then you look at the Kaiten, Devora on Mass Effect right there, and how does she talk?
Yeah,
Anytime she
exactly.
talks, she referred to herself as we or this one. I'm just like Ed Boon just stole Mass Effect.
Yeah. I mean, it could have just been a bit of let me just get the word out of my mouth, a homage to Mass
Mm,
Effect, you know. But Kyle says, graffiti? The monster. I mean, if you look at the news nowadays, graffiti is like absolutely apparent,
mm,
abhorrent. Even if it's just the word freedom. Now that's a
uh,
horrible right wing graffiti, just saying. But getting away from politics for the moment, yes,
mm,
she did graffiti. Of what? We do not know.
mm. Now, also, getting to a poll I put on Twitter and things like that. When I say when it comes to like Jack and Miranda, who you think will beat in a biotic field, and you chose Jack. Like, oh, say, why do you think that?
Jack, because she's got the endurance, but also she can then throw out several powerful attacks that Miranda can't keep up with. I know you said that Miranda's basically got the thinking ability. She's not got the strength and endurance that Jack
I,
has.
yeah, but also
Um,
Miranda has the calm, cool, and collection, while Jack is like I'm saying, she's a big ball of rage.
you think that, but no, Jack, when put into a fight, she knows what to do. She's focused. You know, everything else she can be like, I've got to do something. You know, in a way, you could say Jack is ADHD, but he's only focused in battle. So if you were to put her against Miranda, that would be putting her against her greatest rival. She would have more focus to beat Miranda. Yes, she's got the rage because that's her fighting style. If you were to pin her in a class, she is a berserker. You know, she just like the Krogan would be berserkers, and yes, Johnny Hellcat endurance.
Yeah,
But
but I feel like
yeah,
I'm saying, like if Miranda just basically, I'm saying, sit back, found somewhere safe, while Jack is just sitting right there, just throwing everything, including the kitchen sink at her and all that right there. Eventually, Jack is going to get tired, or she's gonna mess around, and I'm saying, her rage is going to cause her to make a mistake, and that's where Miranda's going to strike. But that's just
well,
my opinion.
my opinion is that Jack's rage, in a way, she's kind of like Kratos. Anger is a weapon, you know, and if she uses that weapon to focus, you know, then she could possibly beat Miranda. Miranda could be sent running, yeah, and not be able to get an attack in. But it just, again, this is a hypothetical. We will never know. We will never know
Yeah,
the
I
true
can.
outcome.
Then I got to thinking right here because when I was looking at the whole entire thing right there, I'm thinking about Mass Effect 2 versions of Miranda and Jack right there. But then when you're seeing like Mass Effect 3, I'm saying she's kind of calmed down. She's got like she's got like basically like more focus and more drive, especially like teaching the students right there. Once again,
Yeah.
jumping the gun. Now you put that Jack against Miranda and all that right there. Okay, like all right. My favorite,
Mm.
I went up more with Jack right there.
Oh yeah. If you put Mass Effect 3 Jack against say Mass Effect 3 Miranda, Jack is gonna win it because Miranda is just so worn out. She
Yes,
doesn't
Jack will
have the
win.
resources she once had.
Mm.
Whereas, yeah, it might be a closer fight, or nearly a draw if it was the Mass Effect 2 versions of both characters. So I will agree with you on that.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I see
moving
you
on,
right
next
there.
character, because we've talked a lot about badass bitch.
Next character.
On to badass bitch number 2.
Next character. Yes, Samara. Oh man,
Now she
Samara
really
is some. I
opened,
says,
yeah, she opened up my eyes to Asari culture that never before did the other game do. It's like, because what you see in Mass Effect 1 is very surface level of the Asari culture. This is where you get a lot of Asari lore and Asari culture, and she really opens it up, and it's like, oh my god, they are so philosophical. They are just, they have such deep meanings, and it's like, how the hell?
and it's more because she's up there in like the what they consider like the matriarch stage. So she's up there in
Yeah,
like the older stage right there. Like where Lara is like basically still like they're in the kid version. Samara's up there basically like I'm saying. She's up there in like I hate to say it this way, up there in the grandma version or the more mature. Like
yeah. You can definitely tell that she wears her years on her sleeve, and she wears them well. Uh, Even though Kyle says he doesn't like Samara, well, tough luck. Uh,
I like Samara to a certain point. It's like like because like she's in the Sergeant car. They're kind of like the specters in a way. Like they
yeah,
basically go around the
that
world. Like wronging like saying writing like certain wrongs and things like that. But the way that they basically do is like I'm saying like somebody basically did wrong and things like this. Like her whole entire thing is basically well that person needs to die. I'm like well damn
well
you don't need to
they
kill every
are
person.
Well, yeah, but they are very strict. Like I said, that Justicars have to follow a code, and they have to be loyal to this code. So much so, it's either like in Mass Effect 3, jumping the gun again. It's either an Ardak Yakshi cannot leave the monastery, um, uh, and a Justicar has to kill her. But if there's only one Justicar, uh, yeah, she's like, I can't kill me. I can't kill, and it's like, ah!
Yeah, and that's the thing
it,
about the Ardak Yashi right there. Which I
yeah,
think that's the next character come over here, which brings us to our next character, Morinth.
Morin.
Yeah, because in Mass Effect 2, there reaches a point right there where Morinth and Samara, which Morinth is Samara's daughter and also an Ardak Yashi, which Ardak Yashi are basically about these the sorry right here, which their melding they have kind of like a defect, and it only happens
Yeah,
in like the pure blood Asari right there, which means two Asaris basically mating. They
yeah,
run risk to become this thing called the Ardat Yashi, which basically like their melding, unlike everybody else right there, it overpowers their mate, which basically, hemorrhages their brain, thus killing them. But the
yeah,
thing is, if they end up doing it too much, it becomes basically addicted to them. So they get addicted to basically killing people in this way right here. And
yeah,
Morinth end up basically doing that because in the Asari culture that I basically know of, they only have Arda Yashi only have two choices: either live the rest of their life in
monastery.
in like a monastery or die. You know,
Yeah, and Morin didn't want either, so she ran off.
yeah,
And unfortunately, because they live so long, her kill count could have been in the millions because she was just so addicted to killing.
yeah,
She's just, it gave her a pleasure that she's never felt before, a dark side that is just hard to ignore. And yeah, so you can see why the Justicars have to go after the Ardok Yakshi, because if they don't, then they could basically do what Reapers have to wait 50,000 years to do.
mhm,
Send enough Ardok Yakshi out there, the whole galaxy would be dead already, and the Reapers will be having to wait another 50,000 years. You know, um, so
yeah. And when you encounter Samara, when you encounter Samara, that's what she's basically doing right there. She's hunting down Morinth, even though, like I'm saying, you're trying to find her to recruit her for this mission right there. But she's just like,
yeah,
I can't go on your mission until I complete this right here. So that's where you basically find out the mission right there, where she's basically trying to hunt down this person. But the thing is, she's on Ilium, doing all this stuff right here, and the Ilium police have been basically, tasked with bringing her in, but they already know, if they go up against an Asari Justicar, they risk getting killed themselves because they don't let nothing come between them and their
and the
mission.
mission.
If,
Yeah, they
even,
are
even
solely
the police right
focused.
there, if they're,
Yeah, they don't care.
so
They follow the
but
code. That is how strict
yeah,
they are. It's like,
mm,
okay, I have an appreciation for that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so
I appreciate it.
when Samara encounters Shepard, basically Shepard's able to convince her, like, okay, what if I find the information that you're basically looking for? Then when you come along, she's like, all right, then I'm gonna give you such and such amount of time. After that, I'm gonna continue my mission again, even if I gotta kill all these motherfucking police in order to do it.
Mm, yeah. It's like, I will sit here in a meditative pose whilst you go and do everything that I need to do because I am under the eagle eye of the Asari cops. Yeah.
So, Shepard's basically on that, supposed time limit right there of like basically finding out where they where they basically like send off Morinth and things like that, and they find out, later on that she's on Omega, which once again we're jumping the motherfucking gun because we're just basically looking at these characters right here. Now, when it
Uh-huh.
comes to Omega, it's a whole bunch to say about that right there. Ah, man. But yeah,
You
it's like
cannot
doing
sum up Omega
doing
in
doing
one
the Samara
sentence.
mission. God, yeah, doing the Samara mission, like when she finally like like find out where she is, you basically have to do stuff to lure Morinth out. Then you have to wow her in a certain way. This is
Oh,
after you
then you have
basically
to flirt
investigate
with
like
her.
her most recent victim. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to flirt with her and like get her basically interested in you and all that right there to where she takes you back to her apartment and that's where she tries to woo you. And if you're
yeah,
strong enough, your paragon is strong enough, you can able to resist it right there. And that's when she realized like, oh shit, like you're
yeah,
helping out my Bob. And so she comes in, they basically have like a stalemate where they're both there, when it comes to both of them, they're both at equal power right there. And so then you have the choice to choose right there. Morgan's like, like take me, I'm just as strong as her, and like, and Samara's just like, like I've already made a vow to shepherd, and all that right there. So then you have the choice to either
yeah.
pick Morgan or pick Samara. Now, of course, I pick Samara because I'm not evil. But you have that choice right there. But the thing is, it's like if you pick Morant, then it's like it really turns out to be a really bad choice on down the road because
Oh, she
even
becomes a
though she
freaking out.
cares like
She becomes
yeah, even though she
a freaking
becomes
banshee.
mhm.
Yeah,
Because even though her biotics are basically powerful as like as Samari is and things like that, it's just the fact like she's basically like the dark side of the whole entire thing. So it's like
yeah. Two
if you're
sides of the
going down
same
that
coin.
renegade road, this is what you're basically going right there. But if you're going for the Paragon, you basically go for Samara right there.
Yeah,
And that's
two
what makes
sides
them
of the
interesting.
same coin.
Oh, you got
Grunt, my
Grunt.
baby,
The
my baby grunt.
Krogan purebred, the tank born.
Yeah, my baby grunt.
Ah man. And you encounter shit, when did you encounter Grunt, You
Hmm?
cause you wasn't even meant to get Grunt right there. You were meant to get another dude, but he basically
Yeah,
died doing the whole entire thing, trying to
yeah,
make
you
sure
were
that
meant to get
that Grunt survived because
um
he was basically what he basically seen as like the the cure or not the cure but the
the
shit was what
genophage.
yeah
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you were meant to get Warlord Okia, and I think
mhm,
he was meant to help Mordin, find a cure for the genophage at one point, or at least help him. But he saw the genophage to sort of weed out the weaklings, and only the strong will survive. You know, say as Rex says in the game, that's an old and very hated name. He Warlord Okia didn't exactly see eye to eye with every other Krogan, whilst every other Krogan was like, yeah, we've got to nurture and reproduce as much as we can. He's thinking you're all coddling them and treating them like precious whelps, and it's like I kind of relate to Okia considering what's happening in our culture today. You know, it's like helicopter parenting, creating freaking snowflakes. So it's like, yeah, we need to create
mm,
strong warriors instead. So therefore, he went out and created Grunt with, you know, the genes of different warlords to make him perfect. And Grunt is like, I don't care what OK was saying. I want to make my own choices. I want to make my own mind up.
yeah, because he sacrificed a whole bunch of Krogan and things like that,
Yeah.
which basically kind of tied into like the first X series because during the whole entire thing, you end up encountering like a female Asari up in there, like her name was um
Yeah.
Rana Thamti or something like that, because she was on Vermeer, like with the whole entire the thing right there. And so if you chose to destroy destroy the whole entire thing right there, she was one of those people that you could chose like, all right, you better get the fuck out of here before we
Yeah. And
before
then
we
she
vote.
goes to help. Yeah. She goes to help Warlord Okia with a brain to basically help Grunt and the other clones or the other tank bred learn, basically. She's like a neurologist. But yeah, say Warlord Okia. I kind of get why the elusive man wanted to have him, but I think in a way you were meant to get Grunt all along and not Okia. So
it's like when
but Grunt is awesome.
It's like when Shepard encounters around and like, damn, you again?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, how are you getting into these situations? Seriously?
Yeah, especially like when you do like the side missions to Chunker where he has to go through like the rite of passage, and then in the end you have to fight. What you usually fighting in the Mako, you have to fight a Thresher on foot.
Yep, it's like
and that thing was hell.
Yeah, and I'm just going. I'm glad I've got the cane. I'm one-shotting you.
Yeah, this is why I got good with the sniper, man, because I'm just like, shoot, that thing was spitting acid at you, and if it hits you, oh god.
Kasumi Goto.
Yeah. This is when this is when I end up beating this game like a whole lot of times, and all of a sudden the DLC started dropping right there, and that's when we got stuff like like Kasumi, Zaid that we saw earlier right there, and I'm like, they dropping this stuff down. Now I gotta go play this game again. Because to make sure I get the whole entire complete thing, like I'm saying, then they dropped Zaid, then they dropped the Kasumi mission. Then they drop down this DLC. By the time, man, they dropped down so many DLCs over the years, man. That's
you kind of go out now. I've got to replay it again because I've got these new characters.
Play this shit again.
Again, replayability, people. Which is not a bad thing. Yeah, Kasumi Goto, downloadable character, but you can now get her in the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which has all the DLC. Yes. And I mean, including the DLC that's in Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, you didn't have to wait 12 years, no drop.
Yeah. But Kasumi Goto, expert thief. Mm-hmm. Not something I was expecting. Because it seemed, why would they need thieves? But then again, why would you need slavery? But it still happens, apparently. So,
and our mission was wild, like.
Her mission is one of the best. I love it. Except for the part where you have to go around sneaking through the party. I prefer it once you get into the vault. Because then you get there again, you've got a freaking Dragon Age Easter egg, and she's like, that thing is ugly. I do not want to run into that thing down a dark alley, and it's a freaking ogre from Dragon Age 1. And it's like,
I saw that right there.
I see you, BioWare. I see you plugging your other games. And again,
they did that a lot, man.
Yeah, they did that a lot. I mean, they even did it in Dragon Age Inquisition, where you see a Krogan head mounted on the wall in the Palace of Olay. It's like, how the hell? I'm seeing Krogan. That's not meant to be here.
Yeah, hope we're in the class for so long, man. They make your eyes sweat.
Well, take them off.
All right, and here you got Yeoman Kelly Chambers. Kelly was a cool character. She was basically like your secretary.
Forever horny.
Mm. Yeah, because if you no matter if you're male or female, man, shoot, you could just
She wanted to pounce on your ass, and she wanted to pounce on everybody's ass.
Kelly was just a freak, man. And the wild part is and the wild part is she was kind of like, I wouldn't say she was a romantic interest. She was kind of like side chick interest, like where you could still do like the romance with other people and stuff like that, but you could still like kind of hook up with her as well. Like she was a side chick.
And here I am going, I'm not coming near you with a 10-foot barge pole. You stay away.
Yeah, but throughout the whole entire game, when every time you complete a mission and you talk to her, man, it was like a flirty moment that you could
like, down girl.
Well, she was a great character. Arya to look.
She is Omega.
Yeah. Don't fuck with Arya.
Seriously, don't.
Mm, man. And her character really got good in Mass Effect 3 when you had that DLC mission.
Oh yeah, when you got the deal, because then you were able to dive more in depth into Arya, and you find out that she is in fact a matriarch in her own right.
Mm,
She is over 1,000 years old. She's a badass old lady. And if there's
yeah.
one thing I like, it's badass old women.
Yeah, like I said, she was and things like that. And also, you got to find like because she goes around acting all tough because she's running Omega and things like that. So you can't have any weaknesses, and then you find out she actually had a weakness, and the weaknesses was basically this female Tyrion that she fell
Yeah.
in love with, but they kind of had a falling out, but they was able to kind of reconcile.
Yeah, they reconcile over the course of the DLC, and it's sweet to watch, you
Mhm.
know. And it's nice to see that side of Arya, but again, badass old lady.
Yeah,
Just
that's
uh,
that's what I think it was basically trying to do. Like they were trying to show that even though she's a badass and stuff like that, she still has like this one I wouldn't call it a character flaw. This is basically showing she had a soft side. That's what I'm saying right
yeah, she's got a soft side.
there.
And I think that's what I liked about, that's what I like about BioWare is that they're able to flesh out these characters, even characters like Arya or freaking Kelly Chambers sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, that
But the
sort of
wild part,
thing. But
but the wild part is only Shepard knows that soft side right there, and she don't you tell
yeah,
nobody. And also
don't you
it
tell
was
nobody.
we got there's also the DLC where we basically got to see female Tyrians for the first time.
Yes, we got to see Nyreen, and they were different from what I was expecting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, but
because a lot of people were basically requesting why ain't there no female Tyrians or why there ain't no female Krogan, and they're just like, well, here they are. And
yeah, I mean,
they wrote them as very good characters, even though they had small roles and things like that. They wrote them as very good characters. They just didn't shoehorn them up in there.
oh yeah, they didn't. Um, that's what made me like the characters in Mass Effect 1 and 2. Um,
Mhm.
they weren't just in your face going, "I am this and this is what I do." You know,
Yes.
yeah, Arya is a badass old lady that just happens to run to Omega. That's
Hmm.
fine, and you can get information out of her. And then when you get into Mass Effect 3, yeah, she's got a soft side and she's got more emotion than you think.
Hmm.
She's not just a I will kill anything that looks at me the wrong way type of girl.
Yeah.
Um, and she's also not just I'm keeping around a Krogan as a freaking trophy called Patriarch. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the reason why for that DLC, the reason why she chose Shepard is because Shepard was the only one that she could trust,
Yeah.
to help out with this basic mission right there, because she knew what she was basically getting into, and it was going to show us, it was going to show a side of her that she didn't want other people to see because they would try to exploit that, to try to take it over because she still has to show
Yeah.
that she's this badass motherfucker that can run Omega, but she's trying to do this thing right here and she can't trust nobody else but Shepard because Shepard ain't gonna try to like, yeah, look, Arya did this right here and things like that, and then try to take over Omega herself. So it's like, I can trust him or her, like
Yeah.
with this right here. Okay, speaking of the patriarch, there he is right there.
Yep. There's Patriarch.
Small part, man, but it was basically very good. He explained, like
Hmm.
he used to run Omega before Arya basically came. They had a fight. She got the best of him, and now, you know,
She keeps him around on a leash
yeah,
like a
to basically,
trophy.
show everybody, like like, hey, if you want to know the reason why I'm in charge, go look at this motherfucker right here.
Yeah. You want to see who I beat? Go over there. You know, you want to see why I sit my ass on this couch and I run Omega? Go over there and meet him. You know,
Mhm.
it's like, so yeah, I get it. Yay. he's a good character in of himself. He's just lost a bit of his glory, and he's hanging on to his glory days
Yeah, and
to
then that comes to the
whoever will
part.
listen.
It comes to the part right there where basically people are looking for him, and like Arya basically like once you like try to get him to like go somewhere else, so like people won't do anything to him because like I said, she wants to basically keep him around as a way of saying like this is what happens when you fuck with me, and if he's gone right there, then it's like I wouldn't say she kind of loses her, she loses her edge and things like that, but she doesn't have nobody there as an example of showing all these other folks who try to mess with her. Like,
Yeah.
this is what you basically get. So she's basically trying to like, get Shepard to basically like, get him to go somewhere and hide because she can't do it herself because that also make her look weak as well. But unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm saying, Shepard basically like, like so, the dude basically being stubborn, like what, fuck that, like hell, shit. If she's trying to get me to hide and things like that to save her face, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay here and see who the hell want to kill me, shit. And Shepard just like, what? Let's just do this instead, like I'll, like I'll fight these people for you and all that right there. Dude's like, what? So that way you get all the glory and I still weak. I'm like, and Shepard's like, no, you just look like I'm saying you still commanding people right there. And he's like, oh yeah, this could work right here. Like I'm saying, like you go fight, you go fight in my honor. Like I told you to go fight these folks right here. Whoop they motherfucking ass, and that'll make me look, like
Yeah.
I still got some pull up in here.
Yeah.
Which what it's
Same.
saying right here, where he's talking about you could be my cramp fighting for my honor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was good right there. So when you basically went back to Arya, she's just like so like I was saying, I heard that the patriarch's crank, like took out the took the guys out personally. Like you know anything about that? Shepard's just bullshit. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I prefer the patriarch to live out his glory days and go fight them himself.
Mm.
I'm like, you're a Krogan. Stop acting like a wussy.
You just want to see them die.
No. Sometimes I'm kind of going, yeah, I kind of want him to live, but he's a Krogan.
Yeah.
Stop living like like a wuss.
Let him go out in the blaze.
Yeah, let him go out in a blaze of glory.
All right. There's a boy Thane.
Thane!
Uh,
Thane!
another person that we encounter in Ilium, and that's because he's hunting down the old slaver. I'm saying the old woman herself, the son of Dantes. That's where you basically encounter her again.
Yep.
So
She's like, oh, Shepard's coming to kill me. No, I'm not.
yeah, because that's
I'm
the thing.
here to...
She thinks Shepard. She thinks Shepard is the one that's coming to kill her right there, when it's actually somebody else. So when Shepard pops up, she's just like,
yeah,
so it's
Shepard
you.
provides a good distraction. It's like, okay, everybody focusing on Shepard, and the assassin is just having a good stroll through the freaking air ducts.
Mm.
Everybody's focusing on the gunfight, and it's like, yeah, this is making my job a lot easier.
Because when he does, I'm saying, because when he does show himself, man, like the way he just came down, he killed like the two bodyguards so damn easy. It was so damn quiet. I'm like, God damn, he just went down, just swap, swap, and by the time she turned around, shit,
Oh
it's
yeah,
too late.
too late. She died. She got a
Yeah,
gun to the freaking stomach.
yeah. Shep was telling, like I said, no amount of money is gonna make this problem go away. Because she was all that time, she was still thinking it was Shepard that was coming to kill her.
Yep, she's going. I will pay you triple, double, triple, whatever they said. And it's like, I'm not the one coming to kill you. I kind of want to talk to him behind you. Who?
Yeah, but yeah, his character is also cool because, like I say, he's like one of the drill. Like now
Yeah,
this story is like
he's an alien that you've never seen before in Mass Effect 1, so he's a completely new race.
yeah,
And so it's interesting to see because in Mass Effect 1 you get used to the Krogan, the Quarian, the Turian, and the Asari. You get used to all of them. So in a way, when you see them again, it's not as but when you see Thane for the first time, it's like new alien.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, and it through him also opens up more about the Hanar and how the Hanar have a deadly streak. Seriously, do not mess with Hanar or they send their assassins.
Oh yeah, because that's what they basically did, and it was kind of like as as a way of like for the Hanar helping them when
Yeah,
they're like when they're on like home planet, like something basically happened to them, it became uninhabitable. So the Hanar basically provide them places on their home planet, but unfortunately, like I'm saying, like the drill have a they have a I'm saying their system is it can't really like truly adjust like with the Hanar home world. So in other words, they kind of
yeah,
like
because their homeworld is more arid. It's more of a desert, so it's basically like moving somebody from Mexico to England. You know,
yeah.
they have to get used to the moisture, and the lungs in Drell they cannot handle it.
Mm,
So and it's called Kepler syndrome. Um, so he feels like he's drowning all the time,
mhm,
and it's almost like being an asthmatic. He just can't catch his breath as much anymore, and it is slowly killing him. And it's like, damn, Hannah, you not only made these Drell your assassins, but you've also basically you've condemned them to death.
and
These jellyfish are savage.
yeah, another thing about Thane is like I'm saying, like a lot of people have pointed out, like even though he's this deadly assassin and things like that, he is very spiritual. Like the drill of like very like they're very spiritual and touch. I'm saying in touch with their gods, right there. 'Cause
Yeah,
with every assassination that he makes right there, he prays, like
he prays to, like the goddess of the hunt and
hmm,
um the the god of like silent step and everything like that, the goddess of the ocean, to sort of embrace him when he dies. And yeah, it does show you that there are very spiritual aspects of,
hmm,
you know, which you don't see a lot of. You see it more with the Asari because they're talking about like their goddess and everything, but you don't. And also the Hanar, where they're just saying, the Protheans are their gods, and it's like, okay, I gotta see. But then you meet Thane and his religion, and it's like, huh, tell me more, because they've kind of
yeah,
got ones that are
yeah, and it
real.
also goes to show like yeah, and also goes to show like how Bioware basically how they tackle the issue of religion like in games and stuff like that, which that's kind of a hard thing to do as well.
Yeah, yeah, but again, it wasn't in your face. He would pray for whenever he
Hmm.
started a mission or things like that, or his um pray for his victims, or sometimes for himself. But it wasn't in your face with it, which is what I appreciate about the writing. Just yeah, he's spiritual. We get that. Moving on.
Hmm. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's like they can't do that no more, man.
No, no,
All
they've
right,
got to
now
shove
moving on
everything
to
down your
like
throat.
okay, now if there's by any
Rex!
chance that you and Rex had like the falling out, uh,
That's Rex. That's
no,
not
that's Reed.
Reeve. That's Rex. No, that's not Reeve. Reeve has
No,
a
no, no,
black.
no, no, that's wait, isn't it? Oh fuck, that is Rex. Oh shit. Like, well, anyway, like, is there a chance? Is there a chance that shit I picked up the wrong picture right there? But if there is a chance that like you and Erdnot Rex, like I'm saying, have to falling out in Mass Effect 1 and things like
His
that, then
brother Reeve.
he'll get replaced by his brother Reeve, which that guy's a fucking douche because he's kind of the one that basically wants to go back to war with the Turians and Solarians for for the Genophage and all that right there. And
Yeah,
you'll kind of see like if Rex survives, like the whole entire thing, especially after what basically went down, like then Rex will basically be like kind of like be like the voice of reason. Like there's another way of curing the genophage, and that doesn't involve like going like going to war and fighting the Solarians and Turians and losing more people and all that right there. And Reeve just like
yeah,
like I want to go kill these bastards and all this shit.
Yeah,
So when
no.
they bring
Uh,
someone so when Rex, all right, quick.
I to say, yeah, Reeve is not such a good Krogan. He is more of whereas Rex is more of the we've got to focus on rebuilding. We've got to focus on coming together as a people, not just separate clans. Reeve is more I want to battle that clan, that clan, that clan, that clan, and establish it, not dominance.
Hmm.
Basically,
Yeah. So when they bring him Grunt, like I'm saying, like now I'm saying not only reading them and things like that, but other clans are basically opposed to like them accepting Grunt because he's not like what they consider like
yeah. They consider like he is the child of a syringe.
yeah, he's basically an abomination to
Yeah, he is not true Krogan. He may
him.
present himself as a pure Krogan, but also he was created by Warlord Orkia, which
Hmm.
is not a good thing. Yeah, it's like yeah, you spout the names of warlords, but you are the procreation of a syringe. You know, you're not true Krogan. Um, so Reeve, only Erdnot Rex sees Grunt as the possible future of the Krogan clan because it's like um he's a way to move forward.
Hmm.
But Reeve just sees him like every other Krogan, not worthy.
Yeah. So Grunt is able to go through the rite of passage with the blessings of Rex right there. It doesn't sit well with a lot. I'm saying with some of the others, and so doing the whole rite of passage thing right there, especially like after you defeat the Thresher Ball, these motherfuckers, I'm saying, like at first they decided they were gonna interfere, but then it's like after you beat the Thresher Ball, then they basically want to come in, and try to recruit Grunt, to try to, like, yeah, with you on our side and things like that, like I'm saying, we could use you to, to dethrone Rex, but only on the conditions that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't, he
They
can't,
wanted, yeah, they wanted to use him like a damn trophy.
yeah, they want to use his power, but saying like I'm saying, oh, but you can't mate with the women, you can't, have the privileges of being a Krogan and all that right there, and Grunt like, man, fuck
Yeah.
y'all.
Again, the Grunt wanted to do his own thing, and that's
Hmm.
fine by me.
All right. Oh, there she is right there. Like
There's a neurologist.
oh, ran a yeah, that helped with on Mass Effect 1, and then like I said, got caught on 2 right there. So yeah, that's her. We already explained that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and you got Ken and Gabby.
Ah, Gabby. And the Scottish.
They were cool characters, man. Like I say, just basically, going down to the bottom and just basically talking to him. Like yeah, they had like really interesting dialogue. And plus, like, when you got recruited Tally, finally, she was down there basically with them. And our kid used to be basically looking at her, like, I kind of what she looks like. I want to know what she looks like underneath that bucket.
Yeah, I want to know what she looks like underneath that bucket. I can hear you,
Like
Like,
I said, there was some cool. And oh, this DLC right here, man, the Shadow Broker.
Shadow Broker.
When you finally go to Ilium
After
and meet Liara.
you hear so much about him,
Mhm.
and then you finally see him, and it's like, it's Vajada Dentada. I'm just like, he's menacing, that's for sure.
Yeah, and like in the fight, like I said, it depends on what level you like. So I fought this on the extreme right there, man. And once he got to the part, man, where it was just like, where you just had that shield right there, man. It was a
I
whole bunch
hated
of
that thing.
it was a whole bunch of stick and move, man, to where you basically just had to push him in the middle right there, where you had to disintegrate him with that stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, so then when you beat him, and then it's like, like Liara's just basically seeing like all that information, like going on floor. She's like, I can't let this go, I can't let this go to waste right here. And so boom, she becomes a new shadow broker, and so you end up
Yeah,
having access to all of that stuff right there. Especially like
yeah,
because because like you're like good friends, and oh man, the stuff you're able to do, in that whole entire shit, man, was that. I said that level was fun, man. Like how they basically built the whole entire thing, and
yeah. I mean, I liked going through or infiltrating the ship from the outside and just setting off all of the electric and just to burn all the enemies.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
when
it's
they're
like
coming up,
collecting lightning because it's in its constant storm. And it's okay. We're going to collect this lightning energy. I'm going to just send a bullet flying right there, bang, and they're all dead.
but you have to be careful.
Lovely.
But you have to be careful too, because sometimes I find myself like like hiding by one of those, and all of a sudden it jolted up. I'm like, oh shit,
Well,
I
that's
better
why
get it.
you gotta remember not to hide behind one of
Yeah,
those
like
things.
I got to get away from this thing right here before it shocks me. Ah, Joker and Edie, ah,
Edie in her
the
simpler times.
the future couple, because
Oh, the
they hook.
flirtation was strong. The
Oh,
chemistry
they
was
hook
there.
up, right?
Yes. I'm not that stupid. I know they hook up in Mass Effect 3. You know?
Yeah, that's Joker.
Just
That's Edie in the AI part right there. I think of yeah, and here she is
yeah,
right here, the Mass Effect 3 version, where she takes over where she
the
takes over the
Cerberus yeah.
uh, one
The
machine.
Cerberus operative that is
And hey, look,
a machine.
we're wearing the same glasses.
I told you keep them blue. I mean, I'm kind of biased because Garrus's glasses are blue or Garrus's visor is blue. But yeah, technically, you're matching. But yeah, Edie,
Let's see
she
who else we
from
got.
Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3, she becomes one of the best characters that there ever is in the game. She's funny, and the
Hmm.
way she starts learning about emotions and things like that and morality, it's nice to see. So when you have to kill her off, it's very sad.
Oh man.
I never
All
do
right.
synthesize or control. And Legion. Legion!
Yeah, well, Shepard Commander himself,
Who is in fact a gamer? You know, where he's like the best at all the war games as a sniper, but he cannot do the romance games because he's like a completely utter failure. And he could only learn about that through the Shadow Broker DLC. It's
Hmm.
kind of funny. It's like Legion's a gamer. It's like you can't really tell because whenever you see him, he's just standing there when really he's actually playing a game in his head. You
Hmm.
know? Yeah, this is all for research. Bang, 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 bang. But
Yeah,
yeah, Legion, best character.
uh,
Javik.
Javik. Now, Javik's thing that really gets me because like throughout the whole entire thing, like Liara's like Liara just had like this like this huge infatuation when it came to the Protheans. Like she basically I'm saying like she basically had him on this godlike level because
Yeah,
because for her
on
like
this golden pedestal.
yeah, like they created
Uh,
all this technology that they were basically living by and all that right there, and for what she read from all the books and like all the history things about them, they were like this they were like
yeah,
this
this
basically good
advanced
race.
race that
Yeah,
helped people, helped other races and things like that. And yeah, they weren't like that at all. They
yeah.
were, in fact, quite warmongering creatures, and they would put you into slavery, and everybody was a Prothean, no matter what race you were.
Which I kind of wonder, like like were all of them like that, or was it just like I'm saying guys who I'm saying the Proteans that basically thought like this because it's like basically like like I said her thought of the Proteans was they were like all godlike, but then you encounter this one Protean right here who's a complete douche, you know, because
Well,
Javik is an
he's not a
asshole in
complete
this motherfucking
douche.
game.
I mean, he's not a complete douche, and you need to talk to him just to break down his defenses. He's kind of like Jack. But he's more of a man out of time. You know,
Mm,
he's in a new age. He's the last of his kind. When he dies, that's it. The Protheans are extinct. So you
mm,
kind of get why he's got all that baggage on his shoulders. But he's also he didn't grow up in the age that Liara was probably talking about. He grew up in the age of the Reaper invasion. Where say, like Liara said, it took probably about 100 years to completely wipe the Protheans out of the galaxy. So in that time, Javik was born and he was raised to fight.
yeah,
He
he was a
was,
soldier.
it, yeah, he was a soldier through and through, and he, that's just the way he grew up. Maybe if he did grow up in the age of like the bliss and everything, he might have been different, but he's not. It's it's his environment, and
Yeah,
now he's
so
got the added pressure of being the last of his kind.
yeah, so when she sent up that question, like, like, were we wrong about the Proteus? And I'm just like, well, you can't sit up here and change your mind completely based upon what one, on the mindset of one Protean and things like that.
True,
It's like,
true.
it's like that's like basically, seeing one of us, like seeing me as a black person, and and I'm a complete asshole. You can't sit up here and base me my personality on other black people right there. And that's why I feel like, that's what it's basically right here. She finally encountered these Prothean right there, and she's thinking them as these, like, oh, they were these godlike wonderful people and
Mm,
things like that. And then she encounters Javik, and well, he's an asshole.
yeah. I get it. I get it. From like, if that's the only representation that you're getting of the Protheans, and
Hmm.
you know, I get it. But it's also coming from his side. He doesn't know what a Prothean is because he wasn't brought up in the age of enlightenment. He was brought up in the age of grab a gun, you're fighting a Reaper.
Yeah.
You know.
All right,
So
but you encounter them in part three right here. But I said we're still on part two. So after, like, you basically like grabbing, like, you basically, like, on a mission to, like, grab all the crew right here to, like, to collect information, not only to, like, find a way to, like, stop the Reapers, but also to stop this new threat right here called the Collectors. Who basically attacked you or attacked the left ship and killed Shepard. So you're basically going through, like, finding all these people right here, and
uh-huh.
by the time you reach this one, because the elusive man basically sends you to this one planet, and surprisingly, like, Ashley is there, like, on some kind of mission, and the collectors basically end up they basically end up attacking that place right
Yeah.
there. So Morton somehow, what I'm saying, invent some kind of some kind of device that basically repels, like, all those little collectibles, like, because once they hit you right there, they hit you with some kind of stasis thing that it literally basically paralyzes you,
Yeah,
and the,
neurotoxin that paralyzes your nervous system, stopping your brain, telling your body to move. Um, but we should say that the collectors are actually what the husks are to humans. Uh, they are what the Reapers turned the Protheans into.
yeah, and that's what you find basically find out in that mission right there when you encounter the one basically calling himself Harbinger, called.
Yeah, yeah. They are Harbinger. He's the one in control. He's been sent as the Vanguard, but he's a lot more behind the scenes than um say Sovereign was. Sovereign kind of got into the fight a little bit where he could, but Harbinger, he's behind a lot of the scenes. The only time you kind of face him one on one, other than the ending where in Mass Effect 3, where you're running to the beam of light. You kind of see him uh in the DLC where you're about to blow up a mass relay.
Oh
That's the
yeah.
only time you ever see him. But yeah. Harbinger, he's more behind the scenes because he's still kind of in dark space and he's telling everybody what to do. He's like the elusive man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's sat back in dark space telling everybody what to do.
And like I said, like how to collect that's how the collectors basically get victims. They send out these swarms of bugs right here, or whatever the hell they're basically called. They sting
Yeah,
people with this toxin that puts them in this damn station. And even though they're awoke, they're basically aware of what's happening. They can't move, and so they're basically like
yeah,
collect them, put them in these little pods right here, which they basically take onto the ship. And they're basically, I'm saying, when you see how they basically kind of do, they put them in these pods right here, where it basically like grinds them down, turns them into some kind of liquid, and it's like like they basically use
yeah.
them as like fuel to like because
They are
you
turning humans into puree and then using that puree to build a new Reaper.
yeah, like,
And
and
it's like you kind of go, why are they building a new Reaper?
you find
Haven't
that
they got
out in
enough?
you find that out in like the suicide mission, because
Yeah,
also, while you're basically like hitting this ragtag, creating this ragtag crew right here, you're also basically going around trying to find like other ways of like improving like the Normandy. So when you do go through the Omega 4 relay, like because the whole entire mission is basically what they consider a suicide mission. It's like the odds of everybody or anybody surviving are basically like slim to none, but they're gonna take those
yeah.
chances.
But
Cause
you upgrade the Normandy to heck, you upgrade everybody to heck, and you do everybody's loyalty mission. Yeah,
mhm,
they'll all survive. And
yeah.
also, if you put people in the right team, you know.
Yeah, like
Like,
cause for me it's like you have to put certain people in a certain way, like especially that my part I had a problem with was when you had like use somebody with their bodies to like protect you to like where you're getting,
yeah,
it took me a while to figure out that you either have to use Jack or you have to use Samara, because I remember one time I
yeah.
messed around, I used Miranda. Nope, don't do that. It's not
Don't
gonna
do
save.
that. She dies.
Yeah,
She
you know what I'm
gets
saying.
dragged away.
She's gonna die, or somebody's gonna die. And if
Yeah,
you can't use Jacob because it's gonna end up the same damn way. So you have to use Jack or you have to use Samara, because they're strong enough to get you through that whole entire thing right
yeah. Again, endurance.
there. So with that part right there, once you basically make it to that part right there, like and you do everything correctly, you can save everybody. I'm saying you can save everybody, including like your whole entire crew. You destroy this brand new Reaper that they basically created right there, and only that's where you find out like the elusive man's, like I was saying, true intention. He wanted you like to basically to preserve the collector's base so they could use it as like you know
Yes, uh, to
It's like an
study it.
advantage. Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
like an advantage against the Reapers.
yeah, as a resource essentially because of what the. But it's like you think the Reapers are gonna trust everything to the collectors? I think not.
So once you find out that right there, that's where you and the elusive man basically like that's where y'all basically have the falling out right there. You just like like I'm done working with you and shit like that.
Yeah, it's like,
And
hey, we used each other. The relationship ends here.
and of course the elusive man doesn't like that, and that's when they basically show the scene of all the Reapers, they're coming.
Yeah, and then that's when you go, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, and that's when Mass Effect 3 comes on. Things like that.
Uh-huh.
Shepard has went back to the Alliance and things like that to face like punishment for all the things that he did with basically with service
Well,
and all this stuff right there.
well, it's either he goes back to the Alliance to be reprimanded for what he's done with Cerberus, or if you play the Alpha Relay DLC, which again you can do in Mass Effect Legendary, um, he Shepard is basically getting reprimanded for blowing up an entire system, where he crashes a meteorite into the Alpha Relay,
Oh,
and
I forgot about that one. That's
yeah,
that's
um,
a mission right there.
yeah, he Shepard, it's all because Shepard is all alone. You've got nobody to help you on this mission because, well, one, Admiral Hackett, who is your boss's boss, so to speak, he asks you directly, and because he was Cerberus, it has nothing to do with the Alliance. And he wants you to save a friend of his. To Shepard's N7, so more than qualified to do this sort of thing. But at first, while it seems like a prison break, because the scientist that you're going to rescue has information on the Reapers and saying that they're actually coming a lot earlier than you think. We want to kind of verify that. It turns out from rescuing her to stopping the Reapers coming through the Alpha Relay. And it's like, well, why is it this relay that they've got to come through? And that's because the Alpha Relay, which is in Batarian space, connects to all the other relays. That's why it's called Alpha. And not because it goes, ay, 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 ay. But, yeah. But still. But basically what they find is essentially a Reaper probe, and because anything to do with Reapers or Reaper technology, you face the risk of indoctrination. And this Reaper probe is indoctrinating everybody that's around it, even the scientists that you've just rescued from this Batarian prison. And so they're going, the Reapers are coming, we are going to see the gods, basically, because they're that delusional now. And they try and keep Shepard asleep. Yeah, they're indoctrinated. So they try and keep Shepard asleep for the total of 2 days that the Reapers are coming for, but because of the implants that Cerberus gave Shepard due to the Lazarus Project, she was able to wake up, or Shepard is able to wake up and storm the base alone. So you have to run through that, through the gauntlet, and you get knocked out several times, thus diminishing the timer even further until the Reapers are coming, until you've got about 30 minutes until the Reapers are coming through the Alpha Relay, and you're kind of going, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Do I blow up the relay or just let them through? Stop the meteorite from crashing into the relay, or just let the entire cycle begin? I'm going to blow up the relay. I don't care if I blow up about 300,000 Batarians in this cluster of space that I'm also going to destroy as well. So yeah. So it's like, okay, we've set a course, set the meteorite onto the course of the mass relay, and now get the hell out of here. And he's like, Joker, seriously, get out here. I need a pickup. Seriously, right now.
Yeah, so that's what's starting Mass Effect 3 right there. He's basically being reprimanded for that. But then stuff saying shit is basically hitting the fan, and that's what basically Shepard is telling everybody,
yeah,
I've been telling y'all this all the time, and now it's happening. The Reapers are here, and of course, they're coming down one by one, doing what they basically do best, shit, destroying all of goddamn civilization. And
it's basically Shepard's big "I told you so."
Yep.
Don't make me say it. I'm saying it. I told you so. That's throughout the entire Mass Effect 3 game is Shepard going, yeah, and who's telling you the entire time?
So he's basically going through, going through like, fighting all these stuff right here, trying to save as much people as they can, and like, then it reached that one sad scene where, like, where they save the little boy, they get him to like, the ship safely, and it's taken off only for one of the goddamn Reapers to shoot it the fuck down. I'm like, ah,
That boy
so,
ain't real.
uh,
That boy ain't real. That's a star child. I feel nothing.
I know, but the whole entire scene of it right there when they basically see
Yeah,
it,
I
it was
mean,
like,
I feel
oh,
everything for the people that were already on that Kodiak and trying to get out of there, and it's like, oh god, those people. But for that specific boy, forget it.
but it starts hunting Shepard to where he's having like all these, well, he or she having all these nightmares and things like that. So it's
Oh,
like,
I'm having
yeah,
dreams about a specific boy. I mean, yes, in the background of the nightmares, you start hearing the voices of like whoever you kind of blew up on Vermeer, whether it be Ashley or Caden. And I feel no guilt whatsoever about that. And then you start hearing the voices of whoever might have died in the suicide mission. Then I'll be starting to feel guilty about that. But yeah, the as for you just I guess it tries to build guilt upon top of guilt, these decisions that you have made, you kill these people. It's like, yeah, okay, I kind of get that. But when it's just like, oh, it's Ashley. Okay, bye-bye.
yeah. Because doing this, because doing all the Mass Effect 3 is like not only you fighting the Reapers, but now you're also fighting Cerberus as well. So I'm like,
Well, that was an upcoming battle, and
uh,
you kind of knew it because Cerberus was just, yeah. They wanted humanity to be on top, and in the end,
mm-hmm.
well, humanity was on top because we kind of beat the Reapers, but still.
I know that guy. And so like besides fighting the Reapers and fighting like Cerberus as well and things like that, Shepard's basically going through all the places and things like that, trying to reunite the people as one. Because they're like, if we're gonna beat the Reapers, man, we need to be. I'm saying we need to all be together, man. That means all the races, all the species need to come together, to fight this whole entire thing. Because this ain't just like a human or a Krogan or a sorry issue with things like that. This is just a
No,
whole
this
galaxy.
is an everyone
Yeah,
issue.
this is an everyone issue. They gonna kill all our asses if we don't all stick together. So
But
basically, spent
as per
most of that
usual,
time right
everybody's out for themselves.
there. Oh, and this character right now, this character,
It's pilot gay.
huh? Hold on,
It's
that's
pilot gay.
yeah. It's like now of course they basically created Steve Cortez, like for all the gay men who kind of felt like left out, in the whole romance thing because you had the heterosexual romance and things like that, and of course you had your lesbian romance, but what about the gay men? I
Oh,
feel
they
like
got Caden.
uh,
They get Caden.
hey, I feel like that's one of the reasons why they basically wrote this character right here. Of course, he's a gay romantic interest, to like male Shepherd right there. But like I said, once again, they didn't just create a gay character for the sake of being gay and things like that. They wrote this person very well, like they
Yeah,
still like
it wasn't in your face.
yeah,
Yeah,
they still provide a good story. Like I'm saying, yeah, like and he basically talks about like where where he basically lost his husband, like doing the whole entire thing right there. Then there's times where he's basically like playing like recordings of like memories and things like that. Like basically what they have. And Shepard's like basically there, like being friendly and being like being, like basically, like you're a friend in need, while also, like say, if
yeah,
you're a male shepherd, if you choose to go down that route, like now you being a friend in need, but you're also being a brand new kind of interest in things like that,
yeah,
like
yeah. No, that's totally fine. But I appreciated the fact that there was more to Cortez than just the gay. I mean,
yes,
he was an ace pilot. He was one of the Trident flyers, and he was he was so good at it because he was always working on the little fighter that he could basically repair any ship, and that's why he's put in charge of the Kodiak on the new Normandy. Um, but also how he's able to basically look at all the ships that are coming into the Citadel, looking for refuge, and he's able to basically pick out like old ships, what's been stripped for parts, and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And there was more to him than, and also his banter with the
Oh,
um
him and
Esteban, yeah,
yeah, him and
yeah,
James.
James, yeah, him and James.
Yeah,
That if anything, guys, I would rather be femme shep and be like a Japanese femme shep, just writing a freaking a romance between James and Cortez, because there was so much chemistry there. I'm surprised they just didn't make those two a couple.
and
Yeah,
they was a trip, man. The way they were upset, they were going back and forth with each other. But like how you said right there, like they wrote his character very good. He was more than just like, hey, I'm the gay character. I'm the
yeah,
like no, I'm saying he was more than that right there.
yeah. And you could see that. You could see how he was funny and witty with James and things like that, but also how he was knowledgeable about space flight and being a pilot himself. And I personally liked it in the Citadel DLC where he's arguing with Joker. Where Joker and Cortez are arguing how to fly in front of the Normandy to stop it from going to hyperdrive. Basically go, you've got to remain 3 feet in front of the Normandy so it doesn't go into hyperdrive. I know that. Now let me fly. So, yeah, he's a good character. Speaking of James.
Speaking of James.
James Vega. The
Mm-hmm.
Krogan in a human body,
Yeah.
essentially. And also crashes a Kodiak.
Like I said, like I also like to say, he was a good character and things like that. Like I don't know. I didn't get much out of him, but it's like he was basically a written character,
I think
man.
you get more out of James if you actually watch the animated Mass Effect film, because he is the main character. Um, so it's all about the mission he talks about. When Shepard is going around trying to fight the Collectors, he's the one going out to the colonies and trying to, get the intel they need, which he later then finds out was totally useless because Shepard was basically doing the job for them. But yeah, he's in charge of trying to get the collector intel on the Collectors and protecting the colonists, but he ultimately fails that mission. Or he fails in protecting the colonists because he chooses getting the intel on the Collectors over the people. And he feels like shit about that, and he doesn't want to leave Earth because he's done that before.
Yeah, like
Um,
and you find it out like when both him and Shepard are like sparring.
yeah, yeah. But again, that mission is entirely it's an animated film. Let me just look up to see what it's called properly. Da, 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 da. Ani- Animated. Paragon Lost. That's what it's called. So it's called Paragon Lost, and it's basically about James and this mission,
Yeah, I know because
and
I
also
because I know
him.
there's
Yeah.
more to Mass Effect than just like the video game
Oh yeah.
series right there, and it's like you get real deep into it, like the Vorcha.
Yeah.
I forgot I put that.
Vorcha.
I forgot I put that up in there, man. uh, they were very popular in the Mass Effect 2 game right there, but they didn't have like a huge like outside of Omega, like they didn't have really much
Yeah.
of a presence right there.
Well, they're more treated as anywhere else. They're more treated as pests. On Omega, they're more treated as cannon fodder.
Mm.
Mainly because they are, they are just so
Stupid.
stupid. Yes, power hungry, of course, but also resistant to a lot of things.
Yeah, because
Um,
they really used a big when it came to like the Morden mission right there, like where everybody was basically getting sick, but the Vorcha.
yeah,
But
because
since everybody think that the Vorcha is too stupid to like to do what was basically going down right there, so they started blaming human.
yeah, because it was the only the only two species it wasn't affecting was humans and Vorcha,
Hmm.
because they think the Vorcha are nothing more than pests. Yeah, it's got to be the humans. So they were an interesting race for what they were. I'm just surprised that they could speak at all with those teeth.
Yeah, like I said, you only found them on Omega. You didn't see them anywhere else. So they were like
Yeah,
a really like a small.
yeah, they were just like a little pocket alien species on Omega. We never know if they've got a homeworld or not.
Hmm. Ah man. Oh Lord, that's all the pictures that I had right there. But that's all. That was most of the characters right there, man. That's all I'm saying. As far as like the game itself, like oh man, like I said,
The game is huge.
yeah, we'll
It
get
has
into like
so much
to the third part
replayability.
right here, where basically like doing a Mass Effect 3. That's what you're basically doing. The Reapers have arrived, and you're basically doing everything that you can to unite everybody together to stop them. And and it's a long drag out fight with the whole entire thing. But not only do you manage to like get everybody together and all that right there. You managed to
Mm,
recontact with a whole lot of other people. From the past, things like that. You cure the genophage finally. You know
yes,
that
well,
was
that
fun
was
to
part of
do.
the agreement. That was part of the agreement. Rex wanted the Genophage gone, and in a way, so did Mordin, because he realised. I mean, that was one
Hmm.
character we didn't talk about, and his picture is not there. Mordin. Yeah, you forgot the most popular
Oh
Solarian
damn, we
that
didn't.
sings.
I didn't get more than.
You
Oh
didn't get Mordin.
shit! God damn it! Fuck that.
I mean, you didn't get Miranda either.
Yeah, we done went
You
through
didn't get
everybody else.
Bubblebutt herself.
I,
You didn't get Bubblebutt herself.
no, I did Miranda, didn't I?
No,
I thought I did.
nope.
It's in my pictures. How did it not pop up? God damn it.
I don't know. You find Miranda in that lot.
Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me get out of that one. Damn, where'd it go? Okay, so we're gonna stop sharing that one right there, and we're gonna.
That'd be a good idea.
All right, we're gonna stop sharing that one right there, and okay, here we go. Professor Morton. So,
There he
okay,
is,
can you see it?
Professor Mordin Solus.
All right,
Yes,
all right.
he was also part
Like
of
I
the
said.
team that created the Genophage. So he feels responsible and wants to cure it, especially after meeting the female Krogan Eve, which I kind of liked how they did. I mean, they did a whole design for a female Turian, but what did they do for a female Krogan? Just put some robes on her.
Put a robe in. I'm saying. So in other words,
To
like I
show
said,
the eyes, and that's about it.
yeah, they basically took Rex design and just like put robes on it and gave it a female voice.
Yeah. It's like,
So they
you
so
want,
they
okay,
tally
you
they
want
tallied
female
her.
Krogan, we give you Burka. It's like, I see what you're doing.
Fire wearing their stereotypes.
Yep. Yeah, and the fact that the women are segregated off, I'm going, oh my god. What are they
Oh, the
doing?
Krogan are Muslim.
The Krogan are Muslim. But they're more badass than Muslims.
Oh,
I mean, It's true. The females are segregated from the males of the clan. They only come together in the ritual of mating,
Yeah, when it's time to
and
mate.
yeah, you know, and in
Yeah,
the
but
in the
during the
design of
time
a
like
female
during
Krogan, put them in a burqa.
yeah, but during that time like the conversation between Shepard and Morton and Mass Effect 2, it's like like how Morton basically trying to he's trying to justify like the updated version of the genophage right there, while a lot of you're just like the genophage. The genophage was a mistake, and I'm just like like
Yeah.
like I said earlier, I can understand the beginning of it when they first introduced it right there, what it was basically doing it, but when they updated it, that was the fucked up part.
Oh yeah, yeah. When they updated it to stop the Krogan from adapting to the Genophage, yeah, that was the messed up part, and you gotta you gotta try and convince him of that, and also when you do Mordin's loyalty mission, um, it's brought up again because he's having sympathetic feelings and all that. He's like, this shouldn't be done. I don't care what Malin has been forced to do in curing the genophage.
Hmm.
You shouldn't test on live subjects because it's just wrong. So it's Mordin's thing. I love Mordin. You grow to love him, and especially when he sings. I am the version of a mother's. I am the very model of a scientist, Solarian. I study visions, Terry and Batarian.
I'm
Don't
glad
ask
you
me to
can
sing
say that
those.
because I'm just like I can't even begin. Okay, speaking of old bubble butt herself, there she goes right
Yay! Yeah, I've got the nickname to catch.
there.
There is Miranda.
There's
Yeah,
Miranda. And the wild part about this character right here is that the person who they got the voicer, like they actually use their face too. Like
yeah,
yeah, they use her face and her voice. So
yeah.
I
So,
can't remember her name because it's kind of like I don't know, like it's kind of like Swedish or Russian or some shit like
yeah, right.
that. It's wild. It's a wild ass name.
Yeah, but yeah, no. I grew to like Miranda. Um, I mean, there are some points that I just wanted to slap her cold-hearted ass, you know, and just like say, get a move on. Um, but once you get the loyalty mission where you have to save her sister, that's where you really start seeing the Miranda, you know, come out of her shell,
Hmm.
essentially.
Yeah, where at
Um,
first she was kind of like acting like the elusive man herself.
yeah, she was trying to copy the elusive man, but it wasn't working, especially when it comes to her sister, who she cares for deeply, because Miranda is a clone and
Hmm.
not of a woman. She is a clone of a man.
Yeah, because
So
her
you
father.
could, yeah. So you could consider Miranda a trans woman.
Yeah, because her father basically like like basically cloned her, trying to create like the perfect like the perfect daughters and all this all that shit right there,
Yeah,
and she didn't want that and everything that he basically put her through and all that right there. She didn't want that going for like her sister, like
yeah,
Oriana,
but who is
who's
essentially,
practically her twin.
yeah, essentially her twin, even though she's younger.
Yeah.
She's also she was made the same way, so it's the same DNA, but made a lot later on.
Hmm.
Um, even though that when you see her, she looks like a damn adult. It's like Mass Effect, you need to learn your ages.
Yeah.
So, um,
So Miranda's thing, basically, like I said, she basically she took Oriana and basically put her in somebody else's care. Or she trusted she basically trusted old dude, the guy that she encountered and stuff like that with the information of where it basically went down, but he ends up betraying him. He ends up betraying Miranda.
yeah, because he thinks he's been in contact with Miranda's dad, who is an excellent manipulator.
Hmm.
and thinks that if Oriana is actually with her real dad, then she could have a better life than she has right now. And it's like, no, you idiot. You're an idiot.
Yeah, because Miranda's basically
So,
like I'm saying, like I took her away to save her, and he's just like, no, you took her away because you were trying to get back at your dad. And it's like, no, she actually, I'm saying she actually did, like save her from the hell that that she went through and things like that. She didn't want to, she didn't want her baby sister going through that whole entire thing.
I mean, what I also like is the fact that Miranda also wants to be a mother. Because again, if you play the Shadow Broker DLC and you play it all the way through, and you actually get to see in the like encrypted files and everything, she's going on dating websites to find eligible men, and what you also find is a, a hospital report, and she cannot bear children. So that's probably another blow to her. She wants to be a mum. She's trying everything she can to sort of heal that part of herself, but she can never be a mother. So you feel for Miranda that way. It's these little bits and pieces of information that, yeah,
Yeah, it's like as you get to
yeah,
know each character, like even though if they start out quite assholeish, like how Miranda did and things like that, but as time went
yeah,
by, like bits and pieces just put together, like you start sympathizing for them and things like that.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, it's a good little bits of information. I mean, like with Garrus, you actually find out that he's actually been sending money to a specialist Solarian hospital so that they could find a cure to a Turian disease, which is sort of like dementia, and that's to try and help his mum. You know,
Yeah, and
and
then
you don't learn about that at all through dialogue. It's something you've got to. It's almost like looking through your partner's phone. It's like, what information can I find today?
yeah, after you complete the whole Shadow Broker thing, and then it's like with the whole
Yeah,
Jack thing, it's like you understand, you kind of get why she's so hard and why I'm saying why she is the way she is because ever since like basically she's been in a service facility since she was a kid. She was basically bred to be a powerful
yeah,
biotic.
she was taken away from her mother. The doctor basically saying the baby died due to overexposure from dark matter. There was nothing they could do. When in fact the baby was shipped off to
Hmm.
Pragia and used as a for experiments for Project Zero,
Yeah,
and that was Jack.
yeah, like I say, isolated them from other people and things like that. Basically, had them
Yeah,
fighting each other, and their only means were basically escaping was basically that right there. Going through and killing everybody and who got in the motherfucking way, including the other kids and shit like that. It's
yeah.
like in a way,
But
she
still,
kind
there
of
was
she kind of wears it, but she kind of like bears it deep down inside because
and also the fact that there was more going on than what meets the eye on Pragia. Jack didn't know everything. She thought that she was the sole sufferer of what was going on, when in fact they were using the other kids uh, as experiments so that they wouldn't harm Jack,
hmm
because Jack was the prize child. Jack was you know, uh, the child that they needed because she had potential with biotics, and yeah. So there was more to what was going on than what Jack thought.
yeah, and it was real fucked up, and that's what made you like like yeah, like serpents are dicks,
Yeah, so Cerberus, but damn, that's why he's time to
Yeah.
fuck with Jack.
Yeah, and it was like that right there. She was suppressing a lot of those feelings right there. But the more you got to know about her and things like that, and of course, if you're the male shepherd, the more you kept talking and talking to her and all that right there. Like you just kept like peeling and peeling away all those like hard shells until finally she broke the fuck down. Huh?
You see, Jack is like an onion. She
Mm-hmm.
has layers.
And Shepard just kept, well, the male Shepard, if you basically looking at the romantic interest, just kept peeling and peeling away until finally, like shit, he got up in there, like next thing you know, hell shit, she's crying her motherfucking ass off, and he's worn her motherfucking ass in bed, like yeah, like that's why I was saying when it came down to all the romantic interests right there, that was my most favorite, like Jack.
I gotta go. Well, my mainstay being Garrett. You know, for it will always be Garrus the Carrion. Uh, but if I play male Shep because I want a different experience or whatever, I choose Tally because
Oh, Tallies.
yeah, Tally is just fun. She's just fun, and she's like, yeah, since our little intermission, yes, I've got a fever, and I totally blame you, but I don't regret it whatsoever. And it's like, I did good.
And that was the wild part right there, like not only romance tally and things like that, because it was most of that people wanted to see like what does she look like? I'm saying, underneath that mask, and of course they kept that as a mystery as they could.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
then
like the fact that they kept it a mystery until Mass Effect 3, where she gives male Shep a picture. And
thank God for the legendary man, because that original really.
yeah, the original picture that they did in the original Mass Effect 3, that was an abomination. It was basically just a human with some white eyes and some lines down the face and 3 fingers.
Yeah, it
And it's
was.
like, really?
It's like they took a stock photo and just doctored it. And I'm like, that is so lazy. And I am glad that people laid into them over that whole
Yeah.
entire thing. So when
Oh,
they
yeah, especially since there's like tons of fan art out there of what a Quarian could look like, and that was more imaginative than what you were actually seeing. I
mm-hmm,
mean, in Mass Effect 2 and 3, you actually got to see a little bit more of Tally's face behind the visor because you got to see her eyes and like
yeah,
some of her nose. But in Mass Effect 1, you don't see her face at all. It is just a purple visor. Um, so yeah, when it came to Mass Effect Legendary, they did update that picture that she leaves for male Shep to I believe it's they got permission from an artist. It was another person's fan art,
mm-hmm,
but yeah, the stock picture that BioWare got berated. I think that was the second most thing. Yeah, the second thing they most got berated about, other than the ending itself.
yeah, oh yeah, the ending. But yeah, it's like that's yeah, a lot of people. I mean, they went after their ass over the whole entire thing. They were like, that was so damn. But that's what they should have did from the get go, right there. They should have been looking at all this fan art, right, girl, being like, oh, we like that right there, and then get in contact with the artist, being like, yo, can we use this in the game right there? It's not like they're gonna sit up here and be like, no, that's gonna be an honor
Yeah,
for them. You,
yeah, that would be an honor for the artist to have it featured in the game. I mean, the only other thing that they could have done was, I don't know, make a model of a faceless Quarian. I mean, they did it for freaking female Turians. Why not? Why not Quarian?
mm,
Come on. I mean, I kind of let you go with the female Krogan, just putting them in a burqa, but come on. It's just the face that you have to show.
no.
You don't have to go crazy. But
Now, of course, to get Tally's new face right there, of course, they had to make a sacrifice, and they ended up sacrificing Miranda's ass.
yep, they sacrificed the bubble butt.
Yes, but you remember that
Meaning,
one scene.
yeah, basically, guys, meaning instead of putting Miranda's big ass in every screen angle possible, no, it is now cropped out. Or you don't see it for very long. It's not held on the ass.
Well,
It's held
I
on the
got
thigh
the
instead.
I got the original, so like the Miranda ass shot will always live on in that right there.
Oh yeah, I've still got
It's just
my.
not in the legendary. Unless you got,
Yeah,
they
it's just
said
not.
someone you got unless you got some way to mod it in. Like,
Yeah, again, that's PC though, isn't it? And that's
mm-hmm.
fiddling around with camera angles in the actual game. And fine and fair enough. If you want to do that, if you want to take the time out of your life to do that, fair enough. But I've still got my Xbox 360 over here, which has the original game on it. I think
Yes.
I'm good.
And I still have the original 360 game right there. So that's what I'm saying, like I ain't worried about you. I ain't worried about your little legendary cutout right there. I can still see it.
I can still see the ass
Oh yeah, but
of
but
Mass Effect.
the ending though, man. Yeah, a lot of people had a whole lot of hell with that right there,
Oh
man.
yeah, I think it was just poorly done. You
Yeah.
could tell that it was rushed. It was a
Hmm.
rushed ending. The three choices, in a way, they do symbolize the three games as a whole, or the three main moralities that Shepard came into contact with. Destroy being Captain Anderson, Control being the elusive man, and Synthesis ultimately being Seren. Because that's what Seren wanted. He wanted organics and synthetics to get on and sort of work together, which uh, eh, I don't think is possible. Plus, it's space magic, so I'm not really one for that ending. Control no, because the Reapers could just override Shepard anyway and take control back, and they'll wipe out, maybe like in 3 days' time. So,
Hmm.
and Shepard can't do anything. So
Yeah.
I always go with destroy. You know,
Oh yeah, I always destroy the Reapers.
Yeah, it may mean sacrificing the Geth that I worked my butt off to basically make true AI and have the Quarians live together with them and things like that. And I'm also sacrificing ED, yes, who is a beloved character, but I'd rather destroy the Reapers than space magic and controlling them.
Yeah. I said, but now if you've heard, there's a trailer out for Mass Effect 4.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen there?
The possibilities are open. There are paths that, I mean, it also depends on whether you can uh, import your game from Mass Effect Legendary onto the new game of Mass Effect 4.
Mm.
I mean, will you be playing as Shepard once again, or will you be playing as somebody totally different?
I hope
That
it's
is
somebody.
the
I hope it's
question.
somebody different, because after all this time right here, like restarting back up as Shepard, especially after all this time right here, like, yeah. Well,
I'm going, I
you
want
can
to
play.
play as the Turian, or I want to play as a freaking Volus, or I want to play as a Krogan. I have had enough of playing as a human.
It's like
You
I'm
had
saying.
that opportunity in the game that shall not be spoken of,
Ah,
but you messed it up.
that's another thing I'm hoping that they don't do right there. They don't recreate that bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Now my
you
thing
know?
is like I remember years ago when they were talking about if they ever made a Mass Effect 4, like what we do, like I say like it all depends on like how you basically end it, like especially like your romantic interest right there on like whoever you are, romantic or romantically involved with it, things like that, that should be their child. Like, if you're romantic with you know,
Yes, I
uh,
want to see a human Turian hybrid.
yeah, if you're romantic with like Liara and things like that, then okay, here's Liara and here's Shepard's love child right here.
Hey, go for it. You know? But I want to see a Turian human hybrid.
Hmm.
And then I want to see a Quarian human hybrid. you know? Build up the immune systems of the Quarian just differently.
Yeah, but I can only imagine what they're gonna do with this right here. I'm just hoping that they do something real good and they don't create an Andromeda too. Because if they do that right there, oh yeah, you're gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't do that again.
Please don't. I mean, the only time, I mean, kind of like with you, the only time I will accept a human as a protagonist is if it is the
Oh, Johnny
child. Uh,
Blaze.
Johnny Blaze, you had a bad experience. Go back and play the trilogy and be reborn.
Because what was their purpose? What was the purpose of Andromeda, really?
The purpose of Andromeda was that BioWare needed another game. They needed to keep the Mass Effect franchise going, even though that they didn't really have to. But I mean, Andromeda had potential. It just lacked imagination.
And they got woke.
Yeah, and they got woke. Just the environments were beautiful. The gameplay, all right. Even though I was, I was still stuck on how the original 3 Mass Effect games played in terms of combat. I couldn't get used to the you can switch between Infiltrator and Vanguard, or Adept and freaking Soldier. Couldn't do that. I was like, no, I'm sticking with Vanguard. So, yeah.
I was a soldier in the first one, and I was an infiltrator in the second one right there, because it gave me that slow mo. It gave me that slow mo move right there, and it seemed like every time when you put things in slow mo, it's like your shots became more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, Andromeda had potential. I personally did not like the Sudoku puzzles, and I did not like the freaking remnant towers or whatever they were.
No.
I wish there was more alien variety than the Ket and Javik's race. Not Javik. I've forgotten his name, but here's another sniper. Look, even has Garrus's visor, and he was trying to catch a lightning in the bottle twice. And at one point in Andromeda, he gets naked with Liam, and that's not disturbing at all. But that character and his race, yes, they were everywhere, and it's like, why? How are you everywhere? Can I have a different race of alien, please? I'm kind of getting bored of seeing the same blue, purple, and green alien everywhere.
But it is, like I said, like this whole entire franchise was just great, man. Like I said, from 1 to 3, minus Andromeda, man. Oh, I still love this, man. I play it every any chance that I get when I ain't trying to get into other stuff right there. But it's like, it's one of those, like, once you start playing it, it's like you gotta see it all the way through. You just can't. Oh, I'm gonna play this for a few seconds and I'm gonna go do some. No. You can't do that right there. You're gonna have to just zoop all the way through in order to get, I'm saying, all the fun and all the understanding right there, man. But dang, can you believe we've been talking about this for 3.5 hours, and I haven't even seen the time not once, man. That's how exciting this has been.
So this is what you get for when you're speaking with me about Mass Effect. I ramble. I joke.
This has been fun, man. Too. And this is the type of stuff I basically want to do on this channel right here. I want to get basically, like, talking about games and stuff that everybody can sink their teeth into. And I mean, we just go. And by the time we realize, like, goddamn, we've been talking for 8 hours.
I won't be able to go that long, Matt. I won't be able to go that long. I do need to sleep.
But that's the wildest part right there, when you really get into a topic that you can really get into, and by the time you realize, time done flew.
Yeah, time gonna fly.
And that's what it is right there. But it's like,
realized I haven't made tea for me and my fiance.
Well, I'm about to let you do that right there, because we basically like to talk to everything, and I've had a fun time with you, Viper. I told you that one of these days we're gonna stream. The next time we do, we're gonna talk about Mass Effect, and I knew it was gonna be like a long, exciting ass stream right there, man. And I'm glad for the wait.
Well, I had fun too. I mean, we were talking about Mass Effect and the characters and the ups and downs and the politics within it. And if anybody wants to come at me to discuss gameplay and what you should do, don't listen to me.
And also, if you ever want to get in touch with Viper again, it's like, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Vipersword, and they can also find me on YouTube. At with same name again, Vipersword. And if you want to listen to some glorious poetry in a northern British voice or a northern English voice, or if you just want some silly merch, then go to my Redbubble account, redbubble.com/Vipersword, and have a t-shirt with one of my drawings on it.
Which I got to get another t-shirt because the last t-shirt I got, yeah, I grew it.
He became more muscly.
Yes, I was
And he
saying,
outgrew the shirt.
yeah, because when I was
Well, I
wearing it,
shall send you the link.
when I was running in that comedy special right there, you can see how kind of like it was kind of like like tight on me and things like that. I'm like, man, if I flex, I'm gonna rip this thing like Hulk.
If I flex, I'm gonna rip the Viper.
So I gotta get Brad one of those, but it's like that's where you can find out right there. But meanwhile, me, like I said, I am Patrick, and you can catch me on Twitter at IBPatrick 24/7. That's where you can find me for when you want to guard like the content for like this channel right here, as well as like my link tree as you see in the description box. So that's where it basically shows like my Twitter, my Discord that you can join right there, as well as I have a TikTok, and it's basically
You have a TikTok? He has
yes.
fallen so low.
Yeah, my TikTok is basically like I'm saying my tiny short videos that I'm basically putting on this channel right here. If you basically caught a few of them, which I've been having fun with, and I got more content coming out with that right there. Because
AKA, they are videos of Pat flexing and being oiled up.
not yet, but they're coming on. Like I said, I need to work on this more right here before I can start. But that's where you can basically find us right there, man. And like I plan on trying to like doing a live stream like this like every Saturday around this time, where it's going to be talking about random things, where we're going to be talking about games or movies or anime, whatever pops up and all that right there, just so we can basically have fun, because I feel like
I have a feeling I'm going to be a regular.
Hey, you're always invited anytime you want to. That right there. I say if I have an exciting topic that you feel like you can sink your teeth into, be like, Pat, let me on.
Well, we'll
But
see.
that's where you can find us right there. But until then, man, I am Patrick. She is Vipersword, and I had a wonderful time. Thank you so very much coming on here. And until then, let's just say that right now we are out of lives. We have no more continues. It is officially game over. All right. We'll see y'all later. Say goodbye, Viper.
Bye.